My child, stop for a moment. Do not scroll past this like every other message, because what you are about to hear is not random. If these words reached you, it is because I sent them to you, and your heart was meant to hear them right now. You may think you simply found this video while passing time, but I know the questions you have been carrying, the quiet battles no one else sees, and the moments when you wondered if anyone truly understood your story. That is exactly why I am speaking to you now. So stay with me. Listen carefully. Let every word reach you before you decide to move on. Because by the end of this message, you will understand something powerful. You are not here by accident, and your life is far from over. My child, I want you to slow down for a moment and breathe with me. I know how quickly your days move. Your thoughts run ahead of you. Your responsibilities pull you in many directions, and your mind often carries more than you let anyone see. Yet right now you have paused, and that pause matters more than you realize. You may believe you simply came across this message while passing time or looking for something to read, but I want you to understand something deeper. You did not arrive here by accident. I know the exact moment you stopped and looked at these words. I know what you were feeling just before you reached them. I understand the quiet questions moving through your heart and the uncertainty that sometimes follows you even when everything around you appears normal. I guided this moment so you could hear my voice in a calm and personal way. You have walked through many experiences lately that left you wondering if things are unfolding the way they should. You have thought about the past and questioned some choices. You have looked ahead and wondered if the path in front of you is clear. All of those thoughts have been close to you, and none of them escaped my notice. When you look at your life, you often focus on the visible pieces, the conversations you had, the events that happened, the plans that worked and the ones that did not. What you cannot see is how I quietly weave meaning through those moments. Even the small decisions that seemed unimportant have guided you toward places where your heart could grow and where your understanding could deepen. You sometimes imagine your life moving through random turns, but from where I stand I see every step with clarity. I see the direction of your story and the potential that lives inside you. That is why I brought you here to listen for a while. I wanted you to stop long enough to feel that your life is not drifting without purpose. Your presence here is not coincidence. Your attention right now is part of something I allowed because I care about what is happening inside you. You have spent time wondering if anyone truly notices the deeper parts of your life. People see your daily routines and the roles you play, yet the thoughts that stay inside your mind are often unseen. I see those thoughts clearly. I understand the concerns you carry about your future and the hopes you sometimes hesitate to admit out loud. When you feel uncertain, you try to handle it quietly so others will not worry. When you feel discouraged, you often hide it behind a calm expression. I understand why you do that. You have learned to be strong in ways that others rely on. But I want you to know that you never have to hide your heart from me. I already know the parts you keep private. I know when you feel tired even if you continue moving forward. I know when you question whether your efforts matter. I know the nights when your mind stays active long after the day has ended. During those quiet hours, when you think you are alone with your thoughts, I am still near you. I have watched you carry responsibilities and expectations while trying to remain hopeful about what comes next. I have seen the patience you have shown during seasons that did not move as quickly as you wished. Even the moments when you felt overlooked have meaning within the story of your life. You are not invisible to me. I see the care you show others. I see the effort you invest in things that matter to you. I see how your heart still wants to believe that good things are possible even after facing disappointments. That hope inside you is something I value deeply. I wanted this moment between you and me so you could feel reassured that your life is known and understood. Nothing about your journey has been lost or ignored. You may have arrived here through a simple action, but I allowed that action because I wanted you to hear this truth personally. You are seen, you are known, and your life carries meaning that is still unfolding. My child, I want you to look at yourself with new eyes for a moment. Too often you evaluate your life through a narrow lens that focuses mainly on mistakes or unfinished goals. You see the gaps between where you are and where you hope to be. You measure your progress against expectations that sometimes feel impossible to meet. Because of that habit, you occasionally overlook the strength that has quietly grown inside you over the years. I see that strength clearly. I have watched it develop through experiences that challenged you, and through moments when you had to adapt in ways you never expected. Think back to the earlier parts of your journey. There were times when circumstances changed suddenly and forced you to respond. You might have felt uncertain or unprepared at first, yet you adjusted and found a way forward. That ability to adapt is one of the strongest signs of resilience a person can have. Many people assume strength only appears in dramatic achievements or visible victories, but true strength often shows itself in ordinary perseverance. It appears when you continue learning after encountering setbacks. It appears when you choose integrity even though dishonesty might offer an easier path. It appears when you treat others with kindness despite carrying personal frustrations inside your heart. I want you to recognize these moments within your own life. They are evidence of a character that is still developing and becoming more capable with every passing season. You might not always notice these qualities because you are busy living your life day by day. From my perspective, however, they form a powerful pattern of growth. I remember the moments when you believed you had reached your limit, yet you discovered that you still had enough determination to keep moving. I saw the way you gathered courage during difficult conversations. I saw how you continued pursuing your goals even when progress felt slower than expected. Those experiences built a foundation inside you that cannot easily be shaken. My child, listen closely to what I want to say next. The strength you carry today did not appear overnight. It formed gradually through every challenge you faced and every lesson you learned. That process continues even now. Your life is still shaping you in ways that will prepare you for opportunities you have not yet encountered. Do not underestimate the value of the growth that has already taken place within you. Let me invite you into a simple reflection that can help you see this truth more clearly. Think about a moment from your past when you believed you could not overcome a particular difficulty. At the time, the problem looked overwhelming. You may have wondered how you would handle it or whether you had the ability to move through it successfully. Yet somehow you did. Step by step, you found a solution or adapted to the situation. That experience revealed something important about your inner capacity. It showed that you are capable of more than you sometimes believe. When you remember that moment, notice the emotions you felt when the situation finally began to improve. Perhaps you felt relief. Perhaps you felt a quiet sense of accomplishment. Those feelings were signals that your resilience had carried you through the challenge. My child, allow those memories to remind you that the same resilience still lives inside you today. Your current challenges may look different from the ones you faced before, yet the qualities you developed remain available to you. Courage does not disappear simply because circumstances change. Wisdom does not vanish when new questions arise. The growth you experienced has become part of who you are. Now I want you to do something intentional. Instead of focusing on doubts about whether you are strong enough, begin recognizing the evidence that already exists within your life. Notice how you respond to problems with patience instead of panic. Notice how you search for understanding when situations become complicated. Notice how you continue caring about others, even when your own responsibilities feel demanding. These actions reveal the strength that has been forming quietly within your heart. I am proud of that strength, and I want you to learn to appreciate it as well. So lift your perspective slightly and look at your journey with greater compassion toward yourself. The person you are today had been shaped by years of learning, adjusting, and persevering. That person is far more capable than you sometimes realize. Continue walking forward with confidence, knowing that the resilience inside you will support each new step you take. My child, stay here with me for a moment longer and allow your heart to open honestly. There have been seasons in your life when loneliness quietly wrapped itself around you. Not always the kind of loneliness people easily notice, but the quieter kind that lives beneath the surface of your daily life. You may have been surrounded by people, conversations, responsibilities, and constant activity, yet inside you sometimes felt strangely isolated. I watched those moments carefully. I saw the difference between the smile you offered the world and the silence you carried inside. You often believed you had to manage those feelings privately, as if showing them would make you appear weak or burdensome. My child, I want you to understand something clearly. You were never invisible to me during those moments. I saw you when you felt overlooked. I heard your thoughts when your mind wandered through questions late at night. I knew the emotional distance you sometimes felt when people around you could not fully understand what was happening inside your heart. You tried to remain strong for others. You kept moving through your days because responsibilities required your attention. Yet even while you carried that quiet loneliness, you continued to care about the people around you. That decision alone reveals a depth of character within you that many people never develop. Loneliness has a way of amplifying your thoughts. It invites reflection and sometimes brings doubts to the surface. You may have wondered if your presence truly mattered to the people around you. You may have questioned whether anyone could truly understand your inner world. I know those questions passed through your mind more than once. When you felt disconnected from others, it sometimes seemed as if your voice carried less weight in the world. My child, listen closely to what I want you to do now. Instead of letting those memories of loneliness define how you see yourself, begin viewing them through a different perspective. Those moments revealed something powerful about your spirit. They showed that even when you felt alone, you still chose kindness and responsibility. You still continued moving forward with integrity. That quiet perseverance speaks louder than any outward display of strength. I was with you during every one of those moments. Even when you believed no one else noticed your inner struggle, I noticed. Even when the room felt silent and your thoughts were your only companions, I was present with you. My presence may not have appeared in the way you expected, yet it surrounded you with quiet protection and guidance. Think about how many times you found a small spark of encouragement at just the right moment. Perhaps it came through a conversation, a piece of music, a sentence you read, or a simple thought that lifted your spirit. Those moments were not random. They were reminders that your life was still connected to something greater than the isolation you felt. Loneliness does not mean abandonment. It often becomes a space where deeper understanding can grow. I want you to remember that truth as you look back on those seasons. Now let me invite you to shift your perspective in a practical way. Instead of carrying the belief that you walked through those lonely seasons completely by yourself, consider the possibility that those experiences were quietly shaping your heart for deeper connection. Loneliness often teaches empathy. When you have felt the ache of being misunderstood, you become more sensitive to the hidden struggles of others. When you have experienced emotional distance, you learn to notice subtle signals in other people's behavior. This awareness becomes a gift you can offer to the world around you. My child, pause and think about the way you respond when someone else appears troubled. You often notice their discomfort even before they explain it. You sense when someone needs patience or kindness because you understand that feeling from your own life. That awareness is not accidental. It grew from the moments when you wish someone would notice your own quiet struggles. Now that sensitivity allows you to become a source of encouragement for others. I want you to embrace that ability rather than dismiss it. Your compassion is one of the most valuable qualities you carry. Yet I also want you to understand something equally important. The season of isolation you once felt does not define your future relationships. Your life continues to unfold, and the connections you build moving forward will be shaped by the growth you experience during those quieter times. I encourage you to remain open to those connections. Do not close your heart out of fear that others might misunderstand you. Allow yourself to be present with people who show genuine care. Invite honest conversation into your relationships. When you share your experiences with sincerity, you create opportunities for deeper understanding to develop. My child, take this invitation seriously. Let go of the belief that you must handle everything privately. Your voice deserves to be heard. Your thoughts deserve to be shared. Your heart deserves companionship that respects the person you have become. Continue walking forward with openness rather than withdrawal. I am still beside you as your life unfolds, guiding moments that will lead you toward connections filled with greater understanding and warmth. My child, I want you to listen carefully to something that may surprise you. Many people believe they understand your life simply because they see the surface of it. They observe your actions, your routine, your responsibilities, and the way you present yourself during everyday interactions. From that limited perspective, they form opinions about who you are and what your life must be like. Yet the deeper story of your life remains hidden from most of them. I see that deeper story clearly. I understand the intentions behind your actions, the thoughts you hold back during conversations, and the hopes that quietly live within your heart. While others notice the visible details of your life, I notice the invisible motivations that guide your decisions. When you help someone without expecting recognition, I see the sincerity behind that choice. When you hold your patience during a difficult conversation, I understand the emotional discipline required to remain calm. These moments may appear small to others, but they reveal the depth of your character. My child, I want you to recognize that the unseen parts of your life matter greatly. You sometimes feel misunderstood because people respond to the surface of your behavior without seeing the full context of your experiences. Perhaps they misinterpret your silence as indifference when it is actually careful reflection. Perhaps they assume your calmness means everything is easy for you when in reality you have learned to carry challenges quietly. These misunderstandings can leave you feeling as though your true self remains hidden behind a mask that others never question. I see beyond that mask. I see the complexity of your thoughts and the sincerity of your intentions. Nothing about your inner life is invisible to me. I know the way you analyze situations before making decisions. I know the emotional weight you sometimes carry when you want to make the right choice but feel uncertain about the outcome. I know the quiet pride you feel when you succeed at something meaningful, even if you do not announce it to the world. I also know the moments when disappointment touches your heart more deeply than you expected. My child, the full story of who you are cannot be captured by quick judgments or surface observations. Your life is layered with experiences that shape the way you think, the way you care, and the way you approach the world. I want you to take a moment now and acknowledge that truth. You are more complex and more capable than many people realize. The depth of your character continues to grow with every experience you encounter. Let me invite you to reflect on how this understanding can change the way you see yourself. Instead of feeling discouraged when others misunderstand you, remember that your true identity is not defined by their limited perspective. Your value does not depend on whether every person recognizes the depth within you. I see it clearly, and that recognition matters more than the quick opinions formed by casual observers. My child, Allow this awareness to bring you confidence rather than frustration. When you know that your intentions are sincere, you do not need constant validation from others. Your sense of direction can come from the quiet knowledge that you are living according to values that matter. Continue making thoughtful choices even when they go unnoticed. Continue acting with kindness even when recognition is absent. These actions create a pattern of integrity that shapes your life over time. I encourage you to keep your heart open while maintaining a calm confidence in who you are becoming. When misunderstandings occur, respond with patience rather than defensiveness. Often people see only fragments of each other's lives, and those fragments rarely reveal the complete truth. By responding with patience, you allow space for deeper understanding to develop naturally. At the same time, do not silence your own voice. Share your perspective when it feels appropriate. Speak honestly about what matters to you. Authentic communication invites others to see more of who you truly are. My child, I want you to carry this truth with you as you move forward. You are seen more completely than you realize. The quiet details of your life are not lost in the noise of the world. I notice those. I understand them. Continue living with sincerity and courage, knowing that your inner character matters far more than appearances. Your life is unfolding with depth and meaning, and I am present within every step of that unfolding story. My child, because I see what others miss within your heart, I also see the quiet desire you carry to help my light reach those who are still searching in the dark. Do not ignore that stirring inside you, for it is I who placed it there. When you support this message through super thanks, membership, or a PayPal gift in the description, you are sowing a seed into a field of souls that I am awakening. Did I not say, those who sow generously will also reap generously? Every offering becomes oil for the lamp that keeps this message burning so others may hear my voice calling them home. This is not a small action. It is a sacred partnership between your obedience and my purpose. I will multiply what you release, guard what you possess, and pour favor over the work of your hands. If your heart is moved right now, that is my invitation speaking to you. Do not wait. Plant your seed today through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, and become part of the harvest I am gathering. My child, stay close and listen carefully because I want to speak to something that has quietly followed you for a long time. There are moments from your past that still visit your mind when you least expect it. Sometimes they appear suddenly, like old echoes returning through a hallway you thought you had already left behind. You remember decisions you wish had unfolded differently. You recall conversations that ended in ways that left questions behind. There are memories that carry a small weight of regret, and other memories that simply leave you wondering whether you misunderstood something important along the way. I know these thoughts come to you when the world around you becomes quiet. You replay them in your mind, examining the details, imagining how things might have changed if you had chosen a different direction. Let me speak gently but clearly to you now. Your past is a chapter of your story, but it is not the title of your life. It does not define the person you are becoming. I want you to breathe slowly for a moment and allow that truth to settle inside your heart. When you look back at your history, you often focus on the moments that feel unfinished or imperfect. Yet I see the larger landscape of your life, and that landscape contains far more than those isolated memories. I see the courage it took for you to continue moving forward after certain disappointments. I see the wisdom you gained from experiences that once felt confusing. I see the maturity that slowly developed as you reflected on your choices and learned from them. Those lessons became part of your growth. They did not trap you in the past. They helped prepare you for the future. My child, I want to invite you into a different way of remembering your life. Instead of viewing past mistakes as permanent marks against your worth, consider them as teachers that shaped your understanding. Every person who grows in wisdom carries memories of decisions they would handle differently today. That awareness is not failure. It is evidence of development and shows that your perspective has expanded. The person you were years ago did not yet possess the insight you have today. Experience becomes the classroom where understanding slowly takes shape. You have learned through living, through reflecting, through adjusting. I want you to recognize the quiet transformation that has happened within you. When you revisit those memories now, notice how differently you think about them compared to the moment they first occurred. Your perspective has changed because your heart has matured. That growth is something to acknowledge rather than dismiss. Now I want you to do something intentional with me. Instead of carrying those memories like heavy stones in your hands, imagine setting them down one by one. Look at them honestly, learn what they can teach you, and then release the emotional weight they no longer need to carry. You are not required to keep punishing yourself for moments that already belong to the past. Growth means learning and then continuing forward with greater awareness. My child, speak this truth quietly in your heart. You are allowed to move forward. Your life is still unfolding, and the direction of your future is not limited by the missteps of yesterday. Think about how nature works. A tree grows new branches every season even though old leaves fall away. The falling leaves do not prevent the next season of growth. They make room for it. Your life works in a similar way. The past has already given you its lessons. Now it is time to allow new experiences to grow in the open space ahead of you. Let me guide you toward a healthy relationship with your history. Remember it with honesty, but refuse to let it control the way you see yourself today. You are not frozen in the identity you carried years ago. You have evolved. Your understanding is deeper. Your heart has become more aware of what truly matters. These changes are evidence that your life is moving forward rather than standing still. So I invite you now to release the unnecessary burden of self-judgment. Instead of repeating harsh thoughts about your past, speak words of patience toward yourself. You would show compassion to a friend who was learning from their mistakes. Extend that same compassion to your own journey. My child, listen to me carefully. Your future is not locked behind your past. It stands open before you, waiting for the wisdom you now carry to guide the next steps of your life. Walk forward with calm confidence. The lessons you have gained will continue to shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and more compassionate than you were before. My child, there is something else I want to talk with you about because it has touched your heart more than once. Waiting has been one of the most challenging parts of your journey. You are a person who prefers movement, progress, and clear direction. When life slows down or delays appear, it can feel frustrating. You begin to wonder why certain things take longer than expected. Perhaps you prayed for guidance or hoped for an opportunity that seemed close, only to watch time pass without the answer arriving as quickly as you imagined. I know those seasons of waiting have tested your patience. They sometimes made you question whether you were moving in the right direction. My child, listen carefully to the truth I want you to understand. Waiting is not wasted time. It is a space where preparation quietly happens beneath the surface of your life. Think about the way seeds grow in the earth. When they are first planted, nothing appears above the ground for a while. As someone watching from the outside, it might look like nothing is happening. Yet beneath the soil, something important is unfolding. Roots are forming. Strength is gathering. The seed is preparing for the moment when growth will finally become visible. Your life often follows the same pattern. When you experience delays, it does not mean your journey has lost direction. It means certain foundations are still developing. During those slower seasons, you are learning patience, reflection, and clarity. You are also gaining perspective about what truly matters. I have watched how your understanding has deepened during those quiet periods. When you pause long enough to examine your goals and motivations, you discover insights that would not appear during constant activity. Waiting invites you to step back from the noise of urgency and look at your life more carefully. It allows you to adjust your direction if necessary and refine the priorities that guide your decisions. My child, do not dismiss these seasons simply because they move at a slower pace. They are shaping the wisdom you will carry into the opportunities that arrive later. Without those foundations, success might feel empty or unstable. Preparation makes the future more meaningful. Now I want you to respond differently the next time you find yourself in a season of waiting. Instead of treating it like a frustrating pause, approach it as an invitation to grow. Ask yourself what this moment can teach you. Use the time to strengthen the qualities that will serve you later. Develop patience in situations where you once reacted quickly. Reflect on the goals that truly align with your values. Invest time in learning skills that expand your understanding. These actions transform waiting from a passive experience into an active preparation for what lies ahead. My child, I want you to trust something important. The timing of your life does not need to match the expectations you see around you. Everyone's journey unfolds according to different rhythms. Some people move quickly through certain stages, while others develop gradually through deeper reflection. Neither path is inferior. What matters most is that you continue growing in character and awareness as your story unfolds. I have watched your life with careful attention, and I know that the waiting seasons have already produced meaningful changes within you. Your patience has increased. Your understanding of people has expanded. Your ability to look beyond immediate results has strengthened. These qualities will serve you well when the next opportunities appear. So take a breath and relax your grip on the timeline you imagined. Your journey is not behind schedule. It is unfolding with its own pace and purpose. When the right moment arrives, the preparation you have gained will allow you to step forward with confidence rather than uncertainty. Until then, remain open to what each day can teach you. Continue moving forward with steady determination rather than anxious urgency. The path ahead of you is still forming, and every step you take today contributes to the person you are becoming tomorrow. My child, stay with me and listen slowly because this part of your story deserves patience and honesty. You have walked through seasons that were far heavier than you expected life to be. Some of those moments came quietly. Others arrived like sudden storms that changed the atmosphere of your days without warning. When you think back to those times, you may still feel the tension that lived in your chest. You were trying to understand why certain difficulties entered your path when all you wanted was stability and peace. I watched those seasons closely. I saw the confusion you carried while you tried to remain steady. You may not realize how much strength you demonstrated during those times. From your perspective, it sometimes felt like survival rather than growth. You were simply trying to make it through each day while holding together responsibilities, relationships, and expectations. Yet inside those difficult moments, something important was happening within you. Hard experiences have a way of revealing truths that comfortable seasons rarely uncover. They expose hidden fears, but they also uncover hidden courage. Think about how your perspective has changed since those challenges occurred. Situations that once felt overwhelming now appear differently when you remember them from a distance. The change in perspective is the result of wisdom quietly forming inside your mind. My child, I want you to reflect on the lessons those experiences placed into your life. Not every lesson arrives gently. Some of them come through disappointment, through setbacks, through circumstances that force you to adapt. Those moments can feel unfair while they are happening, yet they often become the teachers that shape your deepest understanding. I saw the way you adjusted when certain plans collapsed. I saw how you learned to rely on patience when immediate solutions were unavailable. I saw you become more aware of the emotions and struggles of others because you recognized similar feelings inside yourself. Hard seasons refine your awareness. They teach you how fragile and valuable life truly is. They encourage humility and compassion in ways that comfort alone rarely produces. You may have wished those challenges had never occurred, yet the person you are today carries insight that only experience could provide. Look at how your decisions have become more thoughtful. Notice how you consider the consequences of your actions more carefully than you once did. These changes are not accidents. They grew from the experiences that tested you. Even when you felt discouraged, those moments were shaping your character in ways that now support your strength. My child, do not dismiss the value of those lessons simply because they came through hardship. Your story contains depth because you faced real struggles and continued learning from them. Now let me invite you to do something meaningful with the understanding you gain. Instead of viewing those hard seasons only as painful memories, begin recognizing them as chapters of preparation. Each difficulty strengthened a part of you that will help you navigate the future. When you encounter new challenges ahead, you will notice that your response has changed. You will approach problems with more patience and clarity than you once had. This transformation did not happen overnight. It developed slowly through the experiences you endured. My child, take a moment and consider the resilience that now lives inside you. There was a time when certain situations would have shaken your confidence more deeply. Today you approach similar circumstances with greater calm. That calmness is evidence of growth. Your mind has learned how to process difficulty without immediately losing hope. Your heart has learned how to recover from disappointment without closing itself to new possibilities. I want you to carry that awareness forward. When new obstacles appear in your path, remember that you have already faced challenges that seemed impossible at the time. You walked through them and came out stronger on the other side. Let those memories remind you that your strength is not theoretical. It has been proven through experience. My child, allow the lessons of your past to guide your present decisions. Use the wisdom you gained to treat others with compassion. Use it to approach life with patience rather than panic. Use it to remain grounded when circumstances shift unexpectedly. These lessons are not merely reflections on your past. They are tools for your future. Every hardship that once felt like a setback has quietly become part of the foundation supporting your life today. So stand firmly on that foundation. Continue walking forward with the understanding that your experiences have shaped you into someone more resilient, more thoughtful, and more capable than you once imagined. My child, I want to speak to something beautiful inside you that you may not always recognize. Even after everything you have experienced, your heart still carries the ability to care deeply. Life has shown you disappointment. You have encountered moments when people misunderstood you, when expectations were not fulfilled, and when circumstances left you feeling emotionally tired. Many people allow those experiences to close their hearts. They build protective walls that prevent them from feeling compassion again. Yet when I look at you, I see something different. I see a heart that still responds with kindness when someone needs understanding. I see a spirit that still wants to help when another person is struggling. That quality is not weakness. It is a quiet strength that reveals the depth of who you are. My child, pause for a moment and reflect on how often you notice the needs of others. You pay attention to subtle changes in people's voices. You observe when someone appears discouraged even if they try to hide it. Your empathy allows you to sense emotional shifts that others overlook. That sensitivity did not appear by accident. It grew from the experiences you have lived through. Because you know what it feels like to carry burdens quietly, you recognize those burdens in others. Because you have experienced moments of loneliness, You instinctively offer kindness when someone else feels isolated. These responses reveal the compassion that continues to live inside your heart. Some people might advise you to protect yourself by becoming less emotionally involved with others. They may suggest that caring deeply makes life more complicated. Yet I want you to understand something important. Compassion is one of the most powerful qualities a human being can possess. It allows you to create meaningful connections with people around you. It enables you to bring light into situations where others might only see darkness. When you choose to remain compassionate, you contribute something valuable to the world. My child, I have watched the way you treat people who cross your path. Even in small interactions, your kindness leaves an impression that you may never fully see. A brief conversation, a patient response, or a thoughtful gesture can change someone's day in ways you cannot measure. Your heart still caring after everything you have experienced is not an accident. It is evidence that your spirit has not been hardened by disappointment. That openness is a gift you carry into every relationship. Now I want to invite you to protect and nurture that compassionate heart rather than suppress it. Allow your empathy to guide your actions, while also remembering to care for your own well-being. Compassion does not mean ignoring your own needs. It means offering kindness while maintaining healthy boundaries that protect your energy and peace. My child, take a moment to examine how your heart responds when someone shares their struggles with you. You often listen carefully, giving them your full attention rather than rushing to judge or dismiss their feelings. That willingness to listen is a powerful form of support. In a world where many people feel unheard, your attentive presence becomes a source of comfort. Continue cultivating that ability. When you encounter someone who needs encouragement, offer your words with sincerity. When you see someone overwhelmed by their circumstances, share patience rather than criticism. These small actions create ripples of positive influence that extend far beyond what you immediately observe. I want you to understand that compassion also strengthens your own spirit. When you choose kindness, you reinforce the values that guide your life. Each compassionate act becomes a reminder that your heart remains connected to something meaningful. My child, continue allowing your empathy to shape the way you move through the world. Do not let disappointment convince you that caring deeply is a mistake. Instead, see it as one of the most valuable qualities you possess. As you continue your journey, that compassionate heart will help you build relationships rooted in understanding and trust. It will also remind you that your life carries purpose beyond personal achievement. You are capable of bringing comfort, encouragement, and hope to people who cross your path. That ability is part of the beautiful design of your character. Keep nurturing it as you move forward. My child, let us talk about something that once caused you confusion and perhaps even a quiet ache in your heart. There were times when certain opportunities seemed close enough for you to reach, yet suddenly those doors closed before you could step through them. You remember those moments clearly. Perhaps it was a plan that collapsed unexpectedly, a relationship that ended sooner than you hoped, or an opportunity that slipped away just when you believed it might shape your future. At the time, those experiences felt disappointing, even painful. You asked yourself why things changed so quickly. You wondered if you had misunderstood something important or if you had done something wrong that caused the door to close. My child, I want you to look back at those moments with a calmer and wider perspective. Closed doors often carry meaning that cannot be understood immediately. When you stand directly in front of a situation, your view is limited by the emotions and expectations surrounding it. From that close distance, a closed door can feel like rejection or failure. Yet when time passes and you look back with greater clarity, you begin to notice details that were invisible before. Sometimes the door closed because it would have led you into circumstances that did not truly support your growth. Sometimes the path behind that door contained challenges that would have drained your energy or distracted you from what truly matters. I know you wished some of those opportunities had remained open. I saw the hope you carried when you imagined what might happen next. But I also saw the hidden consequences that would have followed if those doors had stayed open. Protection sometimes arrives disguised as disappointment. When something ends or disappears from your path, it can create space for a different direction to appear later. My child, think about how your life continued after those doors closed. You discovered new ideas, new people, and new possibilities that you had not expected before. Those developments would not have occurred if your path had remained exactly as you first imagined it. Every ending created room for another beginning. Even though the transition felt uncomfortable at the time, it quietly guided you toward experiences that helped shape the person you are becoming today. I want you to understand that closed doors are not always signs of failure. Often, they are signs that your journey is being redirected towards something better aligned with your growth. Now let me invite you to look at the doors in front of you today with a renewed sense of trust. When opportunities appear, approach them with curiosity and courage. Explore them thoughtfully and give your best effort while you move through them. At the same time, hold your expectations with gentle flexibility. Not every door that opens will remain part of your path forever. Some exist only long enough to teach you something valuable before guiding you toward the next step of your journey. My child, I want you to practice releasing the habit of interpreting every closed door as a personal failure. Instead, pause and ask what the situation might be teaching you. Reflect on how your understanding has expanded because of that experience. When you adopt this perspective, disappointment transforms into insight rather than regret. It becomes part of the wisdom you carry forward into the future. Your life is not defined by the doors that closed behind you. It is shaped by the direction you choose after each transition occurs. Stand up with confidence and continue moving forward. The doors meant for you will open in ways that align with the person you are becoming. Walk toward them with patience and awareness. When a door opens, step through it with courage. When a door closes, allow it to become part of the guidance that leads you toward the path that truly belongs to your life. My child, stay here with me for a moment and let your mind become quiet. I want you to stop looking only at the roads behind you and begin paying attention to the path that stretches ahead of you. Too often your thoughts travel backward, reviewing decisions that are already finished and moments that no longer exist. When your mind spends too much time there, it becomes difficult to see the possibilities that are forming right in front of you. I see that path clearly. Even when it appears uncertain to you, it is already unfolding step by step. Your life is not standing still. Movement is happening even during the ordinary days that feel routine or uneventful. You wake up, you handle responsibilities, you interact with people, and sometimes you assume that nothing significant is changing. Yet beneath those simple actions, your direction is quietly shifting. Experiences accumulate like small stones placed along a road, gradually forming the trail you will walk tomorrow. I have watched this process within your life from the beginning. Every conversation you had, every challenge you faced, every new understanding that entered your mind contributed something to the person you are becoming. You might not always notice these changes because they occur slowly, but they are real. My child, I want you to recognize the possibilities that still exist in front of you. Your future has not been written in rigid lines that cannot change. It continues forming through the decisions you make and the attitudes you carry each day. That means the path ahead remains flexible, responsive, and open to growth. Some people believe their future becomes fixed after certain points in life, as though opportunity fades once they reach a particular age or circumstance. That belief is not true. Growth continues as long as you remain willing to learn and adapt. I want you to approach the road ahead with curiosity rather than hesitation. Look carefully at the interests and ideas that draw your attention. Notice the activities that give you a sense of purpose when you engage with them. Those signals reveal directions that may lead you toward meaningful experiences. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment to appear, take small steps that explore those possibilities. When you walk forward with intention, new doors begin to reveal themselves in ways that cannot be predicted in advance. Life rarely unfolds through a single dramatic turning point. It often moves through gradual shifts that become clear only when you look back and see how far you have traveled. My child, the path in front of you is alive with potential. Your role is to keep walking with awareness and courage while allowing each step to guide the next one. Now let me invite you to approach the future with a mindset that strengthens your confidence. Instead of imagining the road ahead as something uncertain and intimidating, see it as an unfolding landscape filled with opportunities for discovery. You do not need to know every detail before you begin moving. Understanding grows as you travel. Think about how explorers navigate unfamiliar places. They start with a direction and trust their ability to adjust as they gather new information along the way. You can approach your life with that same spirit of exploration. My child, begin by acknowledging the abilities you already possess. The experiences you have lived through equip you with skills and insights that will guide your decisions. You have learned patience during delays, resilience during challenges, and empathy through personal struggles. These qualities form a strong foundation for whatever comes next. I want you to stand up within your spirit and take ownership of your direction. Do not let uncertainty convince you to remain still. Instead, choose a meaningful step and begin moving toward it. Perhaps it involves learning something new, building a connection with someone who shares your interests, or exploring an idea that has been quietly present in your thoughts. Whatever the step may be, approach it with sincerity and effort. As you move forward, remain attentive to the lessons each experience provides. Adjust your course when new insights appear, and continue walking with patience when progress feels gradual. My child, the future does not demand perfection from you. It asks for presence, curiosity, and willingness to grow. When you live with those qualities, the path ahead becomes clearer with every step you take. Trust that your journey is still unfolding. Walk forward with calm confidence, knowing that I am aware of every step you take and every direction your life explores. My child, as you step forward onto the path that lies before you, understand that some steps are not only for your journey, they are for the journeys of countless others who still need light along their road. When you choose to support this mission through super thanks, membership, or a gift through the PayPal link in the description, you become a messenger helping my voice travel farther than this single moment. Just as a small stream becomes a river that nourishes the land, your generosity becomes provision that carries my word to hearts that feel lost and unseen. Have I not declared, give, and it will be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over? Your seed becomes fuel for the fire of truth that awakens souls across the world. This moment is not random. It is a divine appointment placed along your path today. I see your willingness, and I promise to bless the hands that give with faith. Step forward now and act. Send your super thanks, join the membership, or give through the PayPal link in the description, and help my word continue walking this road. My child, I want you to sit quietly with me for a moment because this truth deserves your full attention. Your life has value far beyond the measurements you sometimes use to judge yourself. The world often encourages people to evaluate their worth through achievements, status, or recognition. When you look around, you see examples of success that appear impressive on the surface, and you may find yourself comparing your own journey to those images. Those comparisons can create unnecessary pressure in your mind. You begin to wonder whether your life is meaningful enough, whether your efforts are visible enough, or whether your accomplishments measure up to the expectations you imagine others have for you. I understand why those thoughts sometimes arise. Human beings naturally seek affirmation that their existence matters. Yet the value of your life cannot be reduced to external markers of success. I see the deeper truth of who you are, and that truth extends far beyond titles, numbers, or public recognition. Your value exists because you carry the ability to influence the world around you in ways that are often invisible yet profoundly important. Think about the countless small interactions that happen throughout your days. A kind word you offer someone, a patient response during a stressful moment, a thoughtful action that makes another person feel respected. These moments might appear minor when viewed individually, but together they create a pattern of influence that shapes the environment around you. My child, the impact of your presence often reaches further than you realize. You may never see the full effect of the kindness you show others, yet it continues moving through the lives of the people you encounter. I have watched the way you treat those who cross your path. Even during days when you felt tired or discouraged, you still made an effort to act with fairness and respect. That consistency reveals the depth of your character. When you look at your life, do not measure it only by visible milestones. Consider the invisible contributions you have made to the emotional well-being of others. Your encouragement may have helped someone continue through a difficult day. Your patience may have prevented a conflict from growing worse. Your presence may have reminded another person that they were not alone. These influences carry significance that cannot always be counted or recorded, yet they matter greatly. Now let me invite you to see your life from a perspective that recognizes its true value. Instead of asking whether you have achieved enough, begin asking how you can continue living in a way that reflects your deepest values. What kind of presence do you want to bring into the lives of the people around you? What qualities do you want your actions to express? When you focus on these questions, your sense of purpose becomes clearer. Your life is not a competition where only certain achievements qualify as meaningful. It is an opportunity to express compassion, integrity, and creativity in ways that enrich the world around you. My child, stand up within your spirit and accept the truth that your existence carries significance simply because you are here and capable of contributing to the lives of others. Every person you encounter experiences the ripple effect of your words and actions. When you act with kindness, you create a chain of influence that extends beyond what you can see. I want you to carry this awareness as you continue your journey. Do not diminish your worth because you believe your accomplishments are too small or ordinary. Instead, recognize the quiet power of living with sincerity and care. The value of your life is not measured by applause or recognition. It is revealed through the consistent choices you make to treat others with dignity and respect. Continue moving through the world with its spirit. Your presence matters more than you realize, and the impact of your actions continues unfolding in ways that cannot always be measured but are deeply meaningful. My child, come closer again in your thoughts and let me speak gently to the part of your heart that sometimes feels uncertain about the direction of your life. There are days when you wish you could see the entire map of your future laid out clearly in front of you. You want reassurance that the choices you are making today will lead somewhere meaningful tomorrow. You want certainty that the effort you invest will produce results that justify the energy you have given. Those desires are natural. Human beings often feel safer when the road ahead appears predictable. Yet life rarely unfolds with that level of clarity. Instead, it reveals itself step by step, moment by moment, through experiences that gradually shape your understanding. I know that this process can sometimes feel uncomfortable. You may wish for clear guarantees before you take the next step. Yet I want you to understand that uncertainty is not an enemy. It is part of the journey that invites you to develop trust in the process of living. My child, consider how many times your life has unfolded in ways you could not have predicted. Certain opportunities appeared unexpectedly. New relationships entered your life when you least anticipated them. Challenges emerged that forced you to adapt in ways you had never imagined. At the time, those moments may have felt confusing or disruptive. Yet when you look back, you can see how many of those experiences contributed to your growth. They expanded your perspective and guided you toward insights that would never have appeared if everything had remained predictable. Your life is not a fixed script written in advance with every detail visible from the beginning. It is more like a path that reveals itself gradually as you walk forward. Each step brings new information that helps you understand the next direction to take. My child, I want you to release the expectation that you must know everything before you move. Instead, trust the wisdom that has been forming inside you through the experiences you have lived. That wisdom will guide your decisions more reliably than anxiety ever could. When you approach life with openness and sincerity, the path ahead becomes clearer through action rather than speculation. Take the next step with courage even when the full picture remains hidden. You will discover what you need to know as the journey continues. Now let me invite you to adopt a mindset that strengthens your confidence in the unfolding process of your life. Instead of focusing on the parts you cannot control, concentrate on the qualities you bring into each moment. Approach your decisions with honesty and integrity. Listen carefully to the insights that arise from your experiences. When something does not work the way you hoped, pause and ask what lesson it might be offering. This approach transforms uncertainty into a powerful teacher rather than source of fear. My child, remember that growth rarely follows a perfectly straight path. Sometimes you will move forward quickly, and other times you will pause while you reassess your direction. Both phases are valuable. Movement builds experience, while reflection builds understanding. Together they form a balanced rhythm that supports your development. I encourage you to embrace that rhythm rather than resisting it. Allow yourself to explore opportunities that feel meaningful while remaining flexible enough to adjust your course when new information appears. Trust that your life is not drifting without guidance. The wisdom you have gained through your experiences is quietly shaping the direction of your journey. When you remain attentive to that wisdom, you will recognize the steps that lead you toward deeper fulfillment. My child, take a breath and release the pressure to have every answer immediately. Focus instead on living with sincerity in the present moment. Choose actions that align with your values. Treat others with kindness and respect as you move through your days. Continue learning from every situation you encounter. These practices will guide you through the unfolding story of your life with greater clarity than any rigid plan ever could. Trust the process that is shaping you, because that process is still guiding you toward a future filled with growth and understanding. My child, stay with me for a few quiet moments and allow your heart to settle while I speak to you about something that has followed you through many seasons of your life. There were times when the path felt unusually silent around you. You continued moving forward with your responsibilities, speaking with people, completing tasks, fulfilling expectations, yet inside you there were moments when you felt as if you were walking through life largely on your own. Perhaps you remember evenings when your thoughts became heavier than usual. Perhaps you recall mornings when you woke up carrying questions that had no immediate answers. During those moments you may have wondered whether anyone truly understood the depth of what you were experiencing. You may even have questioned whether you were navigating everything alone. I want you to pause right now and breathe slowly while I tell you something that has always been true even when it was difficult for you to see. You have never been walking this path by yourself. I have been aware of every step you have taken. I have observed the quiet decisions you made when no one else was watching. I have listened to the thoughts you carried during moments of reflection. Even the feelings you tried to hide behind a calm expression were visible to me. My presence in your life does not always appear in dramatic ways that are easy to recognize. Often it exists in subtle guidance, in the gentle movement of circumstances that protect you from unseen difficulties, and in the quiet strength that rises within you exactly when you need it. Think about how many times you discovered the courage to continue even though you believed you had reached the limit of your endurance. Think about the small but meaningful encouragements that arrived at the right moment, a conversation that lifted your spirit, a message that offered clarity, a sudden insight that helped you understand a situation differently. Those moments were not coincidences drifting randomly through your life. They were reminders that you were never as alone as you sometimes believed. My child, I want you to recognize how many times you have been supported in ways that were not immediately visible. The path you have traveled contains countless examples of quiet guidance. Certain situations resolved themselves in ways you could not predict. Certain obstacles disappeared before they grew larger. Certain opportunities appeared just when you were ready to receive them. These moments reveal that your journey has been accompanied by a presence that cares deeply about your well-being. When you look back over the years, you may begin to notice how the direction of your life hath been shaped by more than your own efforts. There has been a subtle alignment guiding events toward growth and understanding. That guidance has always been part of your story. Now I want to invite you to carry this awareness with you as you continue walking forward. Instead of approaching life with the assumption that every challenge must be solved through your own strength alone, allow yourself to remember that support is present even when you cannot immediately see it. When new difficulties appear, pause and bring your concerns into the open rather than holding them silently inside your mind. Speak honestly about what troubles you. Reflect on the lessons each situation may contain. By doing this, you open the door for insight and encouragement to reach you more easily. My child, take a moment now and imagine placing your worries gently in my hands. You do not need to carry every burden without assistance. Life becomes lighter when you allow yourself to share the weight of your concerns rather than guarding them alone. As you move through your days, remain attentive to the small signals that remind you of connection. Notice the people who show kindness in unexpected ways. Notice the ideas that arrive in your mind when you need guidance. Notice the inner strength that appears during moments when you believed you had none left. These are reminders that you are supported in ways that extend beyond what you can see with your eyes. I want you to walk through life with that awareness resting quietly in your heart. When you feel uncertain about the future, remember that your path has never been abandoned. When you feel overwhelmed by responsibilities, remember that you are not required to carry everything alone. Let this truth bring you calm confidence as you continue moving forward. You are accompanied, you are understood, and your journey continues with guidance that has always been present even during the quietest seasons of your life. My child, let me speak gently to the part of your heart that has sometimes felt tired from carrying disappointment. Life has introduced moments that did not unfold the way you hoped they would. Certain plans changed direction without warning. Some expectations faded slowly until they disappeared altogether. During those times, it was easy to wonder whether the future would simply repeat the same patterns of uncertainty. I know those thoughts visited your mind more than once. Yet I want you to pause and allow this truth to enter your heart with fresh clarity. Your future is not limited to the disappointments you have already experienced. There is still hope ahead of you, and that hope is not an abstract idea or distant dream. It is a living possibility that grows stronger every time you choose to continue moving forward with courage and sincerity. Hope does not appear suddenly as a loud announcement that everything will immediately become easy. Instead, it grows quietly through small signs that life continues offering new chances. Think about how the morning light slowly appears after a long night. At first, the darkness remains strong, yet gradually the horizon begins to brighten. The change happens step by step until the entire landscape becomes visible again. Hope often enters your life in a similar way. It begins with small moments of clarity, an idea that excites your curiosity, a conversation that encourages you, a new opportunity that awakens your motivation. These moments might seem simple at first, yet together they create a direction that leads you forward. My child, I want you to protect the hopeful part of your heart rather than allowing disappointment to silence it. When you look toward the future, do not focus only on what might go wrong. Instead, allow yourself to imagine what could go right if you continue learning, growing, and exploring. The possibilities waiting ahead of you are not limited to the experiences you have already lived. Your story is still unfolding, and many chapters have not yet been written. I see the potential within you that will shape those chapters. Your curiosity, your compassion, your determination to keep searching for meaning, these qualities will guide you toward experiences that enrich your life in ways you cannot yet fully imagine. Now I want to invite you to nurture hope actively rather than waiting for it to appear on its own. Begin by paying attention to the opportunities that already exist around you. Sometimes hope grows when you decide to take a small step towards something meaningful. It might involve learning a new skill, building a new connection, or exploring an interest that has quietly been calling your attention. When you take those steps, you send a message to your own spirit that your future is still open to possibility. My child, practice looking at each new day as a space where something valuable can develop. Even ordinary moments can contain seeds of opportunity when you approach them with awareness. Speak words of encouragement to yourself when doubt begins whispering in your mind. Remind yourself that your life continues moving forward even when progress feels gradual. When challenges appear, treat them as part of the journey rather than signs that hope has disappeared. Each difficulty can teach you something that strengthens your ability to navigate the future. I want you to hold on to the understanding that hope is not fragile when it is rooted in perseverance. It grows stronger every time you refuse to surrender your belief that life can still bring meaningful experiences. Continue walking with openness toward the days ahead. Your story has not reached its conclusion. There are still connections to form, ideas to explore, and opportunities to discover. Let hope guide your steps with quiet confidence as you move forward into the unfolding future of your life. My child, stay with me for a moment and allow your mind to quiet down. I want you to step back and look at your life not as a finished picture, but as a story that is still unfolding page by page. Too often you treat your past like a final judgment about who you are and what your life will become. You look at certain events and quietly decide that they have already determined the direction of everything ahead. When that thought settles in your mind, it can make the future feel smaller than it truly is. I want you to release that belief right now. Your story is not finished. The chapters you have already lived through were important, but they do not contain the entire narrative of your life. When a writer begins a book, the opening chapters introduce characters and conflicts, but the meaning of the story often becomes clear only much later. Your life works in a similar way. Some of the experiences you went through may have felt confusing while they were happening. Certain seasons may have appeared to lead nowhere at the time. Yet the full purpose of those moments often becomes visible only when the story continues. I see the larger picture of your journey, and I know that many parts of your life are still waiting to unfold. New experiences are forming quietly in the distance. New insights will appear as you keep walking forward. Even relationships you have not yet encountered may become meaningful chapters in your life. I want you to imagine your story as a long path stretching across a landscape. The section you are standing on right now is only one small part of that road. Behind you there are miles of experience that shaped who you are today. Ahead of you there are still countless turns, conversations, discoveries, and moments of growth that have not yet arrived. My child, when you remember this truth, your perspective changes. Instead of seeing your life as a fixed result, you begin to see it as a living journey that continues evolving. This understanding allows hope to return even after difficult seasons. It reminds you that no single moment holds the power to define your entire life. Each day you wake up becomes another opportunity to shape the direction of your story. When you speak kindly to someone, you write a line in that story. When you learn something new, you add another layer of depth to the narrative. When you choose patience during a challenge, you strengthen the character you are becoming. All of these moments contribute to the chapters still forming ahead of you. Now I want you to participate actively in writing the next pages of your story. Do not stand on the sidelines waiting for life to happen around you. Instead, step forward with intention. Ask yourself what kind of person you want to become in the years ahead. Think about the qualities you want your life to reflect: kindness, wisdom, courage, curiosity. When you identify those qualities, begin expressing them through your daily choices. Your actions today shape the direction of the chapters you will experience tomorrow. My child, take time to explore ideas that inspire you. Invest your energy in relationships that nurture understanding and mutual respect. Continue learning from the situations you encounter rather than assuming you already know everything you need to know. When you approach life with curiosity and openness, the story of your life becomes richer and more meaningful. I want you to remember something very important. No matter how confusing certain moments from your past may seem, they do not prevent new chapters from forming. Life has a remarkable ability to renew itself when you remain willing to grow. Even after disappointment, fresh opportunities can appear in ways you never predicted. Even after uncertainty, clarity can develop gradually as you continue moving forward. So I encourage you to approach the future with the mindset of a storyteller who knows that the most meaningful parts of the narrative often arrive later in the journey. Allow yourself to remain hopeful about the experiences that have not yet appeared. Your life is not a finished book resting on a shelf. It is a living story still being written, and the pages ahead hold possibilities that you cannot yet fully see. My child, before we close this moment together, I want you to slow down and sit with me in quiet reflection. Do not rush past these words. Do not treat this moment like something ordinary that can be forgotten the moment you return to your routine. Pause here. Let your thoughts settle. Breathe slowly and allow the meaning of this conversation to reach the deeper places within your heart. You may have begun reading these words out of simple curiosity, perhaps without expecting anything significant to happen. Yet here you are still listening, still reflecting, still allowing these thoughts to touch something inside you. That is not accidental. You were meant to hear this today. You were meant to pause long enough to remember truths that sometimes become hidden beneath the noise of everyday life. Your days are often filled with responsibilities, decisions, and constant movement. In the middle of that busyness, it becomes easy to forget the deeper purpose that guides your life. That is why this moment exists. It is a quiet interruption that invites you to reconnect with a clearer understanding of who you are and where your journey is leading. My child, I want you to notice what is happening inside you right now. Perhaps you feel a small sense of calm replacing the tension that followed you earlier. Perhaps you feel a gentle curiosity about the future instead of the worry that once occupied your thoughts. These shifts may appear subtle, yet they matter more than you realize. They are signs that your perspective is expanding. When you pause long enough to reflect, your mind becomes open to insights that daily distractions often hide. This moment between us is not meant to remain confined to these words alone. It is meant to follow you back into your life when you stand up and continue your day. Carry the awareness you gained here with you. Let it shape the way you approach the people you meet and the decisions you make. Remember the truths we have explored together. Your past does not imprison your future. Your life continues unfolding with purpose, and your story still contains chapters waiting to be written. My child, do not underestimate the power of remembering these truths during ordinary moments. When challenges appear tomorrow or next week, bring these insights back into your thoughts. Let them guide the way you respond to uncertainty. Your life is not drifting without direction. It is moving through a process of growth that continues revealing itself with every step you take. Now I want to invite you to do something simple but meaningful before you move on from this moment. Take a quiet breath and speak honestly in your heart about what you want your life to reflect moving forward. Do not worry about perfect words. Simply allow your intentions to form naturally. Perhaps you want to move forward with greater patience. Perhaps you want to nurture your compassion for others. Perhaps you want to approach the future with renewed courage rather than fear. Whatever your intention may be, acknowledge it clearly inside your mind. When you name what matters most to you, you begin shaping the direction of your actions. My child, understand that change rarely arrives through one dramatic moment. It grows through consistent choices that align with the values you carry in your heart. As you continue your journey, remember the conversation we shared here. Return to these insights whenever you need clarity. Let them remind you that your life holds meaning far beyond the worries that sometimes cloud your vision. You are capable of learning, adapting, and growing in ways that will continue shaping the chapters ahead. When you step forward after this moment, do so with calm confidence. Look at the world around you with open awareness. Notice the opportunities that appear when you approach life with curiosity and sincerity. Your story is still unfolding, and the future contains possibilities that you have not yet discovered. My child, carry this understanding with you as you walk forward today. You were meant to hear these words, and now you are ready to continue writing the next chapter of your life with greater clarity, courage, and hope. My child, if you truly understand that you were meant to hear this today, then also understand that this moment carries a purpose greater than your own reflection. I am calling many hearts through these words, and your willingness to support this mission becomes the seed that allows my voice to reach them. When you give through Super Thanks, become a member, or send a gift through the PayPal link in the description, you are placing oil into the lamp so this light continues shining for those still wandering in darkness. Remember what I have spoken. As long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest will not cease. But you release with faith. I multiply with power. Your generosity becomes like rain on dry ground, awakening hope in hearts that thought they were forgotten. This is not merely support. It is participation in the work I am doing across many lives. I see your heart, and I will cover your steps with favor and provision. Therefore, do not delay. Act now with Super Thanks membership with a PayPal link in the description, and become part of the harvest I am gathering today. And as you respond to that invitation, remember that your greatest offering has always been a heart that is willing to stay close to me. Your generosity carries my message outward, but my desire in this moment is to draw you inward, closer to my voice, closer to my peace, and closer to the purpose I have prepared for you. So don't hurry away just yet. Let the distractions wait. Let the demands of the day fall silent for a few more moments. There is a reason I have been leading you to this place, and there is something deeply personal I want you to hear before you move on. Open your heart completely, because what follows is not a coincidence or another passing message. It is a conversation I arranged long before you ever arrived here. I see you right here, right now. You are listening to these very words, and I want you to know I am sitting right beside you. Stop what you are doing for just a moment. Take a deep breath. I know you feel rushed, but I am asking you to pause. Look at your life. Look at the screen in front of you. You are not here by accident. You did not stumble upon this message because of some random chance or a lucky click. I planned this meeting. I arranged this exact moment for you, long before the sun rose today. I saw the heavy weight you woke up with, and I sent this to you. Hear my voice speaking directly into your heart. I am talking to you, my child. Feel that tight knot in your stomach. I see it. I know exactly what you are worrying about today. I know about the bills that need paying, the tension at your job, and the silent arguments echoing in your mind. I see the fear you hide from everyone else when you smile and say you are fine. You are entirely exhausted, but I am entirely strong. You me that heavy backpack of worry right now. Hand it over to me. I command the anxious thoughts racing through your mind to stop. I know the frustration of feeling stuck in the same place, repeating the same mistakes, and wondering if you will ever break free. But I am telling you today, the door is open. Step out of the mental cage you built for yourself. I release a heavenly calm into your room, into your car, into wherever you are sitting right now. Let the tension drop from your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Relax your hands. You are safe with me. Let my deep, quiet peace wash over you like a warm wave of water. Breathe in my peace. Breathe out your fear. Breathe in my love. Breathe out your doubt. You do not have to figure out tomorrow right now. I already hold your tomorrow in my hands. You often wonder why things take so long. You asked me in the dark why your prayer seemed delayed. Listen to me carefully. My timing is always perfect. It never makes sense to your human eyes, but I see the whole picture while you only see one small puzzle piece. Do not rush the process. When you feel like you are falling behind, remember that I am the one walking beside you, setting the pace. I am never late. I arrive exactly when you need me the most. Trust my clock. Let go of your need to control every second of your day. Rest in the simple fact that the creator of time itself is managing your schedule. The world around you is so loud. It shouts at you with bad news, endless demands, and harsh judgments. People expect too much from you, and you expect even more from yourself. You compare your hidden struggles to everyone else's public victories. Stop doing that right now. I did not make you to copy someone else's life. I made you to walk the unique path I laid down just for you. I command the chaotic noise of this world to fade away from your ears. Close your eyes. Imagine standing in the center of a roaring storm, and suddenly, everything grows completely silent. That is the quiet room I am bringing you into today. Do you hear it? Do you hear my soft whisper in the silence? I do not need to shout to get your attention because I am already living inside your heart. Let the voices of failure, guilt, and stress fall down to the floor. Step away from the noise and step into my quiet shelter. Open your hands right now. Yes, physically open your hands where you sit. This is your invitation to let go of what is hurting you and to grab hold of what will heal you. I am pouring out a massive, endless river of love over your life today. Let it soak into the dry, tired soil of your soul. You have been running on empty for far too long, trying to fill everyone else's cup while yours stays bone dry. Let me fill you up. Receive my love. I've set my grace. Stop fighting the current and simply let me hold you. You are deeply loved, fiercely protected, and perfectly known. Stay here with me in this moment. We have so much to talk about, and this is only the beginning. I want to take your mind back in time today. Go back far beyond your first memory. Go back before you took your very first breath on this earth. I want you to deeply understand a truth that will completely shatter the foundation of your deepest doubts. I knew you before the foundation of the earth was ever laid. Before I spoke light into the empty darkness, I already saw your face. Before I carved out the deep oceans or painted the sky, I was already thinking of you. I sat in the quiet of eternity and intentionally designed you. I formed your innermost being in the secret place with perfect care and absolute precision. You were never an afterthought to me. You were never a random product of biology or a sudden accident. I planned your arrival into this world with the careful attention of a master artist creating their greatest masterpiece. I chose the exact color of your eyes, the unique sound of your laugh, and the deep, beautiful capacity of your heart to feel and to love. I boldly reject the lie the enemy has planted in your mind. The dark lie that tells you your life is a mistake. The lie that whispers you are unwanted, unnecessary, or a burden to those around you. Stop listening to that toxic voice right now. I command that false narrative to completely break off your mind today. Look at my truth instead. There is a profound, deliberate intentionality behind every single detail of your physical, emotional, and spiritual design. I gave you the specific personality you have because the world desperately needs it. I gave you a deep sensitivity so you could understand the pain of others. I gave you a quiet strength so you could stand firm in the middle of raging storms. I did not make a mistake when I made you. You are exactly who I intended you to be. You are a perfectly designed vessel, entirely capable of holding the massive purpose I have placed inside you. Remember this very simple fact: it is my very breath that sustains your life day by day. You do not wake up each morning simply because your alarm clock rings. You wake up because I lean down and breathe fresh life into your lungs for another day. Every single heartbeat in your chest is a steady, rhythmic reminder of my constant presence and my enduring will for your life. I am not a distant God watching you from far away. I am the very air in your lungs. I am the force that keeps you moving forward when you feel like giving up. Feel your pulse right now. That is my rhythm. That is my promise beating inside your own body. Listen to the heavens. I rejoice over you with loud singing. I do not look at you with disappointment. I do not shake my head at your flaws or sigh at your human weaknesses. I look at you with the immense, overflowing pride of a loving father. I see the masterpiece I created, and I call it incredibly good. You are my beloved child, and you bring profound joy to my heart just by existing. You do not have to perform to earn my love. You do not have to prove your worth to me. You were completely worthy the moment I thought of you before time began. Stand tall in that truth today. Let it anchor your soul. You are known, you are wanted, and you are brilliantly made. I feel the heavy, crushing weight you are carrying on your shoulders right now. I deeply validate the invisible burdens you have been dragging around entirely on your own. You walk through your day smiling, talking, and working, but inside, you feel like you are walking completely underwater. You are carrying the weight of other people's expectations. You are carrying the heavy dread of tomorrow's problems. You are carrying the silent anxiety of holding your family together. I see how hard you try to keep all the plates spinning, terrified that if you drop just one, your whole life will shatter into pieces. Stop trying to carry the weight of the entire world. Your human shoulders were never designed to bear this kind of heavy, relentless load. I see you, and I see exactly how much it hurts. I want you to know that I have collected every silent, hidden tear you have cried. I have captured them all in my bottle. Not a single tear has ever fallen to the ground unnoticed by me. I was right there with you in the quiet of your car when you ripped the steering wheel and wept. I was sitting beside you on the edge of your bed when the house was completely silent, and the loneliness felt suffocating. I heard the prayers you could not even turn into words, the deep groans of a tired spirit just asking for a break. I speak directly to your specific feelings of exhaustion today. I speak directly to your deep burnout and your profound sense of inadequacy. You look in the mirror and tell yourself you are not doing enough, not earning enough, and simply not being enough. I am telling you to stop speaking to my precious child that way. I assure you that I clearly see the daily struggles and the quiet sacrifices that the rest of the world completely overlooks. I see the extra hours you work just to make ends meet. I see the infinite patience you try to find when you are completely depleted. I see the moments you put your own deep needs entirely on hold to take care of someone else. The world might not give you an award or a round of applause, but heaven is standing at attention. I see your faithful, exhausted heart, and I am stepping in today to give you rest. I am not asking you to try harder or to run faster. I am asking you to stop. Come to me right now. I offer you my yoke. I promise you that my yoke is easy and my burden is incredibly light. It is perfectly built for your tired shoulders. Let us make an exchange right here in this moment. Give me your heavy backpack full of stress, bills, fears, and relationship drama. In return, I am handing you a deep, settling peace. I gently encourage you to exhale physically right now. Let out a long, deep breath. Release your desperate need to control the final outcome of every situation. You cannot control the wind, and you cannot control the waves, but you belong to the God who can. Lay your heavy head against my chest today. Close your weary eyes. Stop fighting the battle in your own fading strength. Let me carry you for a while. You are safe to rest now. Look closely at your life. It might look like a messy pile of random, disconnected events to you right now. But I am revealing to you today that your life possesses a specific, brilliantly authored blueprint, entirely written by my own hand. I am the master architect, and I do not build anything without a perfect, detailed plan. When you look at your current circumstances, you only see the raw materials, the dirt, the heavy bricks, the exposed wires, and the temporary scaffolding. You see the mess of the construction zone, and you think your life is a complete disaster. But I see the finished, glorious mansion. I see the solid foundation. I see exactly what I am building within your character. Every single season you have walked through is a necessary line drawn on my master blueprint for your destiny. I want to draw a sharp, clear contrast between the world's shallow definition of success and my eternal purpose for your life. The world tells you that success is a large bank account, a prestigious job title, and a perfect public image. The world demands that you climb the ladder, step on others, and secure your own status. But my kingdom operates on a completely different metric. My definition of success is a heart fully surrendered to me. My success is found in your quiet faithfulness, your genuine kindness, and your unwavering trust in the dark. Do not measure your profound, eternal worth using the world's broken, temporary ruler. You are a vital part of a grand, sweeping story that echoes into eternity. What you do matters profoundly, even if it feels small and hidden right now. I am weaving the seemingly random, disjointed events of your past together for your ultimate good. Even the terrible mistakes you made, the wrong turns you took, and the relationships that ended in bitter heartbreak, I am gathering all those broken pieces right now. I assure you that no painful experience you have ever endured will ever be wasted. I am the master recycler of human pain. I take the ashes of your deepest failures and I use them as the fertilizer for your greatest growth. I use your past rejection to teach you deep compassion. I use your past failures to build unshakable resilience in your spirit. Nothing is wasted in my economy. Nothing slips through my fingers. Embrace my sovereign role in your life today. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am the very beginning and the absolute end. I am the author and the perfect finisher of your faith. I wrote the first sentence of your life, and I hold the pen that will write the last. You are panicking because you are stuck in the messy middle of the book, and you cannot turn the page fast enough to see how the conflict resolves. I am telling you to breathe. I promise you, with absolute divine authority, that the final chapter of your story is already completely written. And let me tell you a secret about your ending. It ends in total, absolute victory. You win because I have already won. Trust the author. Trust the blueprint. Let me finish the incredibly good work I have started in you. Put down the heavy, exhausting mirror of comparison right now. I am addressing the massive trap you have fallen into. The trap of constantly comparing your messy behind-the-scenes reality to everyone else's carefully filtered highlight reels. You scroll through your phone, looking at pictures of other people's perfectly clean houses, their happy relationships, and their flourishing careers. With every picture you look at, a heavy brick of inadequacy drops into your stomach. You start to believe the lie that everyone else has it all together, and you are the only one struggling to survive. Stop doing this to yourself. Stop measuring your unique, beautifully complex life against a flat, fake image on a screen. You are comparing your deep, difficult reality to a complete illusion. I affirm to you today that you are running a beautifully unique race. Your track is entirely different from the track of the person standing next to you. Because your race is different, it requires a completely different grace. You cannot borrow someone else's timeline, and you cannot steal someone else's calling. Do not look to the left, and do not look to the right. Look straight ahead at me. I am completely dismantling the heavy anxiety you carry of feeling like you are running behind in life. Who told you that you were supposed to be married by 30? Who told you that you needed to have a specific salary by 40? Those are not my rules. Those are the arbitrary, crushing demands of a broken society. You are not behind schedule. You are exactly where I need you to be in this exact moment, learning the exact lessons you need for your next season. I sternly warn you against the spiritual danger of coveting the season with the calling of another person. When you constantly wish for someone else's life, you are completely blinding yourself to the abundant blessings I have poured into your own. Jealousy will rot your bones and steal your daily joy. Celebrate the victories of others, knowing that I have an endless supply of blessings. If I bless your neighbor, it does not mean I have forgotten you. My well never runs dry. Your specific blessing is already on its way, moving perfectly according to my divine schedule. I command a total, immediate release from the crushing weight of human expectations and worldly metrics. Take a deep breath and let the pressure entirely go. You do not have to impress your parents anymore. You do not have to prove your worth to your boss. You do not have to convince your friends that you are successful. I establish my divine validation as the only approval your fragile soul will ever truly need. When you lay your head on your pillow tonight, the only question that matters is this: does my Father in heaven love me? And the answer is a resounding, universe-shaking yes. You are fully approved. You are entirely validated. You are profoundly loved. Break the chains of comparison today, and finally walk in the deep, satisfying freedom of simply being exactly who I created you to be. Do not turn away from me now. We have only just begun to heal your deepest, most agonizing wounds. It pierces my fatherly heart with profound grief when you walk away just as I am actively unlocking the heavy doors to your freedom. If you stop listening in this crucial moment, you are choosing to return to the very chains I am trying to break. Stay here with me. Do not disappoint the fierce love that is fighting for you right now. Listen closely, because your true breakthrough is entirely dependent on what I am about to say next. Walk with me into the memory of your deepest valleys. I completely acknowledge that the dark roads you have walked through have been terrifyingly dark and incredibly, agonizingly long. I know there were nights when the pain was so intense it felt physical, like a heavy stone pressing down on your chest. You have faced sudden loss, deep betrayal, and silent sickness. In the middle of those suffocating valleys, you cried out and asked me why I was letting it happen. You asked me where I was when your heart was breaking into a million tiny pieces. I hear your questions. I do not turn away from your anger or your profound grief. I draw near to the broken-hearted, and I was holding you tight even when the darkness made it impossible for you to see my face. I want to make something crystal clear to your spirit today. While I did not cause the evil that was done to you, I am powerful enough to entirely, completely redeem it. I did not offer the sickness, the abuse, or the sudden tragedy. We live in a fractured, bleeding world. But hear my promise. The enemy overplayed his hand. Whatever darkness was sent to completely destroy you, I am stepping in to turn it entirely around for your ultimate good. I am taking the weapon that was forged to kill you and turning it into a tool to build you. This is the necessary, deeply painful refining process of the fire. The extreme heat is not meant to burn you to ashes. It is designed to burn away the impurities and purify your faith until it shines like solid gold. You are coming out of this fire stronger, wiser, and more beautiful than before. I will show you how your deepest, most agonizing wounds are currently being transformed into your greatest, most powerful ministry. The areas where you have bled the most are the exact areas where you will bring the greatest healing to others. Because you have walked through the dark valley of depression, you will hold the lantern for someone else trying to find their way out. Because you have survived the stinging pain of rejection, you will know exactly how to love the outcast. Your pain has a profound purpose. It is expanding your heart and giving you a supernatural empathy that cannot be learned in a classroom. Your survival is going to be the exact roadmap someone else desperately needs to stay alive. I promise you that your current suffering is merely a turbulent middle chapter. It is absolutely not the conclusion of your story. The book does not end in the dark valley. Keep walking. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Do not set up a camp in the middle of your grief. I comfort you today by showing you the permanent, wedded scars of love carved deeply into my own hands. Look at my hands. I know exactly what it feels like to be pierced, betrayed, and crushed. I kept my scars even after I conquered the grave to prove to you that I understand your pain. You are not bleeding alone. We will walk out of this dark valley together, and you will step into a bright, beautiful dawn that will make you forget the terrors of the night. I am looking right at you, and I see the heavy blanket of loneliness you wear every single day. I confront the isolating lie of the enemy right now. The dark lie that whispers nobody understands you and you are completely alone in this world. You walk through crowded rooms. You sit at tables with family. You laugh and smile with people at your job. But deep inside, you feel entirely invisible. You feel like if you disappeared tomorrow, no one would truly notice. Stop believing this toxic illusion today. I validate your intense loneliness. I see the nights you stare at the ceiling, wishing for just one person to genuinely ask how you are doing and actually wait for the real answer. I know the profound ache of wanting to be seen, truly seen, without any masks or pretenses. But I am telling you, my child, you have never been alone for a single second of your entire life. I am always with you. I understand your pain perfectly when your tears flow unceasingly and your heart feels heavy with grief. I want to open your spiritual eyes right now so you can see the truth. I describe to you the abiding, powerful presence of my Holy Spirit. He is not a distant force. He is a very real person residing permanently within you. He walks continually beside you, through the grocery store, in your car, and in the quiet of your living room. When you sigh in exhaustion, He feels it. When your heart drops in disappointment, He is right there catching it. Lift the veil of your human perspective for just a moment. If you could see the unseen world, you would drop to your knees in absolute awe. I show you the legions of mighty angels currently assigned to guard your daily steps. They stand around your home. They walk before you to clear the path. You are fiercely protected by the armies of heaven. You are never walking into that difficult meeting alone. You are never stepping into that doctor's office by yourself. I offer myself to you right now as the ultimate, unfailing friend. Earthly friends will sometimes let you down. People get busy, they get distracted, and they often misunderstand your heart. But I am the friend who sticks closer to you than a brother. I do not get tired of your questions. I do not walk away when you are messy or broken. I do not put you on a timer or rush you out the door. My presence is your permanent refuge. I invite you to talk to me like you would talk to your closest companion. Tell me what made you angry today. Tell me what made you laugh. Share your quietest fears with me. I am leaning in, completely attentive to every word you say. I declare an immediate, permanent end to the spiritual orphan mindset that has kept you trapped in fear. You are not a spiritual orphan left to fend for yourself on the cold streets of this world. You are fully adopted into my royal family. You belong at my table. You have my name written on your heart. Stop living like you have to survive entirely on your own strength. Stop trying to protect yourself from every possible danger. Let me be your father. Let me provide for you. Let me defend you. Feel the warmth of my presence wrapping around you like a heavy, comforting blanket right now. You are part of a family that spans across eternity. You are known, you are cherished, and you are surrounded by my love. You are never, ever alone. I am calling out to the deep, hidden places inside your heart today. I remind you of the specific, powerful talents and spiritual gifts I deposited directly inside you before you were even born. When I formed you, I did not leave you empty. I packed you full of incredible potential, unique abilities, and a specific voice that no one else in the entire universe possesses. But I see what has happened over the years. I see how the harsh realities of life have buried those beautiful gifts. You had to pay the bills. You had to survive a broken relationship. You had to navigate a crisis. And in the middle of simply trying to survive, your God-given dreams and vibrant visions fell completely dormant. They are sleeping deep beneath a heavy pile of daily stress and routine. I call them forth right now. Awake. I command those buried dreams to breathe again. I directly address the paralyzing fear of failure and the crushing fear of rejection that keep your brilliant light hidden under a basket. You are terrified to step out and use your gifts because you ask yourself, what if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if I am not good enough? I see how you shrink back into the shadows to stay safe. I see how you silence your own voice because someone in your past told you that your ideas were foolish. I am telling you today that their words were a lie. I command a fresh stirring, and a mighty awakening of the Holy Spirit's power within your soul right now. Do not let the fear of human judgment keep you from stepping into your divine assignment. The gifts I gave you were never meant to be hidden away in a dark closet. They were meant to shine brightly for the whole world to see. I need you to fully understand that the unique gifts you carry are desperately needed by a broken, hurting world right now. There is a specific person out there who needs to hear the exact story you have to tell. There is a specific problem in this world that only your unique mind was designed to solve. There is a broken heart that only your specific brand of compassion can heal. When you hide your gifts, you are actually depriving the world of the blessing I intended to give them through you. You are the vessel I have chosen. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to be willing. Step forward. Open your mouth. Create that art. Start that project. Speak that truth. I am inviting you to partner with me in bringing light into the darkest corners of this earth. You look at the massive task in front of you and you feel entirely unequipped. You look at your empty hands and wonder how I could ever use you. I promise you right now that I will fully equip, deeply resource, and completely grace you for every single task I call you to undertake. I do not call the qualified called. If I am asking you to build something, I will bring you the exact tools and the exact materials you need. If I am asking you to speak, I will supernaturally fill your mouth with the exact words to say. Take the first step. Take it trembling if you must, but take it. Stop waiting for perfect conditions to start using what I have given you. I will meet you at the exact point of your obedience. I am ready to blow like a mighty wind on the small, blowing embers of your forgotten dreams until they become a roaring fire. I am bringing my gentle, warm light into the darkest, most hidden rooms of your heart today. I see the secret guilt, the heavy regret, and the paralyzing shame you still harbor over your past mistakes. I see the memories that play on a constant loop in your mind at 2 a.m, reminding you of every time you failed, every time you lost your temper, and every time you made a terrible choice. You walk around wearing those mistakes like heavy chains locked around your ankles. You think that because of what you did yesterday, you are forever disqualified from my blessings tomorrow. I am here to completely destroy that lie. Look at me. Look into the eyes of your Father. I point you back to the rugged, splintered wood of the cross and the completely finished work of my Son, Jesus. When I look at you, I do not see the sum of your worst mistakes. I declare with absolute, supreme authority that your past failures absolutely do not disqualify you from my glorious future plans. The blood shed on Calvary was not a weak, temporary solution. It was a final, universe-altering payment for every single thing you have ever done wrong and everything you will ever do wrong. When I said it is finished, I meant it. I explained to you today that my boundless, scandalous grace is perfectly sufficient to cover every single area of your human weakness. Where your sin runs deep, my grace runs so much deeper. You cannot outsin my capacity to forgive you. You cannot fall so far down into the dirt that my arm is not long enough to reach you and pull you back up. I instruct you to do something very difficult right now. I command you to forgive yourself immediately. This is not a suggestion. It is a divine command. You are holding on to a grudge against yourself that I have already let go of. By refusing to forgive yourself, you are acting as if your personal standard of justice is somehow higher than mine. Drop the heavy stones you are throwing at your own reflection. Stop putting yourself on trial for crimes I have already completely pardoned. Mirror the total, absolute forgiveness I have freely given you. Let yourself off the hook today. The debt is canceled. The record is wiped completely clean. You owe nothing. I wash away the dark, stubborn stains of yesterday with the rushing, powerful water of my renewing, unconditional love. Feel that clean water washing over your mind right now. Let it cleanse your guilty conscience. Let it wash away the dirt of your shame. You are completely clean. You are entirely new. You are a brand new creation in my eyes. The old versions of you, the addicted you, the angry you, the broken you, the failing you, they are gone. They are buried at the bottom of the deepest ocean, and I have placed a sign there that says no fishing. Do not go back and dig up the sins that I have buried. Walk out of your prison cell today. The door has been wide open this entire time. Step into the bright, warm sunlight of my perfect grace. You are completely forgiven, entirely loved, and absolutely free. I want to completely rebuild the way you see yourself today. I fiercely separate your core identity from your career productivity, your bank account balance, or your relationship status. The world has trained you to introduce yourself by what you do for a living. The world tells you that your value goes up when you make more money, and your value goes down when you lose your job or when someone walks away from you. You have tied your precious self-worth to temporary, fragile things that can be taken away in a single second. I am cutting those strings right now. You are not your job title. You are not your salary. You are not defined by whether you are married, single, divorced, or widowed. Those are just circumstances. They are not your identity. I speak directly and aggressively against the painful words of rejection and harsh criticism spoken over you by others. I know the names they called you. I know the cruel things that were said to you when you were a child, and the thoughtless comments that cut you deep as an adult. They called you useless. They called you a failure. They told you that you would never amount to anything. I command every single one of those toxic labels to fall off your spirit right now. Those people did not create you, so they absolutely do not have the right to name you. I establish your unbreakable status today as a royal heir. You are seated in heavenly places within my eternal kingdom. You are royalty. You have royal blood flowing through your spiritual veins. You are a child of the Most High God, and it is time you start walking like it. Let me detail the agonizing, priceless cost that was paid on Calvary simply to win back your soul. If you ever want to know exactly how much you are worth, do not look at your bank account. Look at the gross. Look at the immense, unimaginable price that was paid for your freedom. I gave everything I had for you. I held nothing back. I poured out heaven's greatest treasure just to bring you home to me. You are worth the life of my son. That makes your value absolutely infinite and entirely unchangeable. No one can ever lower your price tag because the price has already been paid in full. You are the pearl of great price, and I sold everything to buy you back from the darkness. I command a heavenly, radical shift in the way you view your own reflection in the mirror each day. When you look in the mirror tomorrow morning, I do not want you to see the tired eyes, the wrinkles, or the flaws. I want you to see a fiercely loved, highly favored, deliberately chosen masterpiece. I want you to look at yourself with the exact same tender love and deep respect that I look at you with. Stop pointing out your defects. Stop tearing down the temple that my Holy Spirit lives inside. I permanently seal your true identity right now in my radical, unchanging, and unconditional love. Nothing you do can make me love you more, and absolutely nothing you do can make me love you less. Your worth is completely settled forever. Rest in the profound peace of knowing exactly who you are, and exactly whose you are. My precious child, you are absolutely not here by accident, and because you now firmly know your true, priceless worth, I am inviting you to rescue others who are still trapped in the dark. I am looking for willing, generous hands to partner with me today to broadcast this exact truth to millions of shattered, lonely hearts. Help me spread these words so more souls might be saved from the crippling, heavy lies of the enemy. Your financial gift today is not just a simple donation. It is a blazing torch of hope carrying my light straight into the deepest valleys of human despair. When you give, let your heart overflow with generosity, and I will violently open the windows of heaven, returning your seed as an abundant harvest of peace, provision, and unstoppable favor. Give freely, and it will come back to you, perfectly pressed down and completely overflowing. Step into this divine, urgent appointment right now by offering a super thanks, becoming a channel member, or using the secure PayPal link in the description below. I command you to act boldly today, funding this holy mission so my healing voice can aggressively reach the broken people who desperately need it right now. I am absolutely not finished speaking to your broken heart. It brings heavy, crushing sorrow to my spirit when you leave my presence before your miracle is fully delivered. I am holding the exact answers you desperately wept for in the dark, and it grieves me deeply to see you forfeit them out of mere distraction. Give me your completely undivided attention right now. Honor my voice. Do not break this holy, life-saving connection, for the next words I speak will completely alter the trajectory of your tomorrow. I want to pull back the curtain and expose the precise, calculated tactics of the enemy that have been coming against you. I expose the relentless strategies of distraction, heavy discouragement, and painful division meant specifically to derail your faith. The enemy does not want to fight you directly, he wants to exhaust you. He sends 1,000 tiny annoyances to distract your focus. He whispers lies of discouragement in your ear the moment you wake up, telling you that your situation is entirely hopeless. He creates petty arguments and deep misunderstandings with the people you love the most to divide your support system. I need you to recognize these attacks for exactly what they are. This is not just a run of bad luck. This is not just a difficult month. This is a targeted, spiritual attack designed to make you quit. I explain the true spiritual reality behind why you have faced such intense, unrelenting warfare in this specific season. You have been walking through fire, taking hit after hit, and you are wondering what you did wrong to deserve this. I reveal to you today that you did nothing wrong. In fact, the severity of the enemy's attack is a direct, undeniable indicator of the absolute greatness of your destiny. The enemy does not waste heavy ammunition on an empty target. Thieves only rob the vault when there is massive treasure locked inside. The reason all hell has broken loose against your life, your mind, and your family is because you are on the very edge of a massive, generational breakthrough. You are dangerously close to stepping into your true power, and the darkness is terrified of the light you are about to unleash. I remind you today of the devastating, absolute authority I have permanently given to you over the forces of darkness. You are not a helpless victim sitting on the sidelines taking punches. I have given you the power to completely overcome the enemy through the unmatched power of my name. The same spirit that raised Jesus from the dead is currently living and breathing inside of your chest. You have the authority to command the chaotic storms in your home to stop. You have the authority to speak peace over your racing, anxious mind. Do not cower in the corner. Stand up to your full spiritual height. When you speak my words with faith, the darkness has no choice but to immediately flee. I instruct you, as your commander, to daily put on the full armor of God. Do not walk out of your front door spiritually naked and unprotected. Put on the belt of truth to hold your life together. Put on the heavy breastplate of righteousness to protect your fragile heart from the arrows of guilt. Put the shoes of peace on your feet so you can stand firm when the ground shakes. Take up the massive shield of faith to block every single lie the enemy shoots at your mind. And pick up the sharp sword of my spirit, which is my spoken word. I promise you right now, with absolute certainty, that absolutely no weapon forged against you will ever prosper in the end. They may form the weapon. They may even fire it, but it will not destroy you. You are completely protected, deeply empowered, and guaranteed the final victory. Stand firm, my brave child, and fight back. I see you staring at the calendar, watching another month slip away while your deepest prayers seem to go completely unanswered. I hear the deep, heavy sigh you let out when you see someone else receive the exact blessing you have been begging me for. I address the deep frustration and the quiet heartbreak of your endless waiting today. You feel like you are stuck in a waiting room while everyone else is being called forward. You ask me if I have forgotten your name, or if I simply do not care about the desires of your heart. Listen to me today. I have not forgotten a single detail about your life. I gently explain to you right now that a divine delay in your life is never the same thing as a divine denial. Just because the answer is not here yet does not mean the answer is no. Learn to wait for my timing even when patience wears thin. I know the wait can be excruciating, the endless contemplation of what might be wearing on your soul. You try to figure out the timing in your own mind, calculating how old you are, how much time has passed, and how narrow the window of opportunity seems to be getting. Stop looking at your human clock. I do not operate on a human schedule. I am never late. I arrive precisely when most needed in the perfect moment. I want you to understand the complex, hidden, behind-the-scenes orchestration I am doing on your behalf right now. If I gave you the blessing today, you would drop it because your hands are not yet strong enough to carry the heavy weight of it. I am actively working on the environment. I am working on the people involved. And most importantly, I am working deeply on you. Look at the foundation of a massive skyscraper. The builders spend months digging deep into the dark dirt before they ever build upward. If they rush the foundation, the entire building will collapse under its own weight during the very first storm. I emphasize to you today the crucial, non-negotiable importance of building your character before I ever elevate your platform. I am digging deep into your soul right now. I am removing pride, I am pulling out impatience, and I am chiseling away your need to control the outcome. The wait is not a punishment. The wait is your preparation. Do not rush the process that is saving your life. Remain tranquil. Reassure your heart that fear isn't necessary. Cultivate steadfast patience and unwavering faith right here while you are standing in the hallway. The hallway is the uncomfortable space between the door that just closed and the door that has not yet opened. Do not sit down in the hallway and give up. Do not complain about the narrow walls. Stand tall. Keep your heart completely pure. Keep your attitude entirely grateful. I promise you that when the appointed time finally arrives, I will bring the breakthrough to pass so swiftly it will take your breath away. When it is time, no force on earth will be able to stop what I am releasing into your life. Trust my timing, lean entirely on my wisdom, and know that the most beautiful things take the most time to grow. I am speaking directly to the tight, suffocating knot of financial panic in your stomach right now. I see you staring at your bank account on your phone, doing the math over and over again, trying to figure out how you are going to stretch so little to cover so much. I see the anxiety that wakes you up at 3 in the morning, whispering that you are going to lose everything. I see the fear of lacking the necessary resources to simply take care of your family or to step into the calling I have given you. Bring those fears to me right now. Hand me the unpaid bills, hand me the empty fridge, and hand me the spreadsheet of your debts. I remind you of my holy name today. I am Jehovah Jireh. I am the God who sees your deepest needs and provides for every single one of them. I assure you there will be no lack in your house. Debts will vanish and work will flourish. I do not give you a massive vision for your life and then expect you to fund it entirely by yourself. If I am the one who birthed the vision in your spirit, I will absolutely provide the provision for the journey. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills. The silver and the gold belong entirely to me. Stop looking at your employer as your ultimate provider. Stop looking at the economy to determine your sense of security. I am your source. The true and lasting prosperity I bring will resolve your financial struggles. Your table will never lack for bread, and your needs will always be met. I will open pathways where none seem to exist. I urge you to completely abandon your exhausting mindset of scarcity today. Scarcity tells you that there is never enough, that you must hoard what you have, and that you must panic about tomorrow. Embrace the glorious reality of my kingdom of abundance. In my kingdom, there is always more than enough. I do not deal in leftovers or halfway miracles, but I ask for your continued, radical obedience. I ask for your steadfast faith and your bold generosity in your financial stewardship. Do not close your hands in fear. Keep your hands wide open, ready to give and ready to receive. When you hold tightly to what little you have, you leave no room for me to place something greater into your palms. I decree a massive opening of the windows of heaven over your life today. I am preparing to pour out a blessing so large that you will not have enough room to contain it. You will witness marvelous miracles that will infuse your life with joy and dispel any gloom that lingers in your household. I will grant you the wisdom to manage the blessings I bestow upon you. Do not just pray for money to survive. Pray for the wisdom to build a legacy. I want to bless you so abundantly that you become a massive river of blessing to everyone around you. Trust me with your resources. Trust me with your daily bread. I am your God. You will want for nothing. Walk with me into the sharp, lingering pain of your deepest relational wounds. I see the empty chair at your table. I know the piercing ache of the phone that never rings anymore. I acknowledge the devastating pain of betrayal, the sudden sting of abandonment, and the shock of a sudden loss that rip your world completely apart. You trusted someone with your whole heart, and they walked away, leaving you holding the broken pieces. I too know the sting of betrayal, the pain of being forsaken by those you trusted, attacked by hatred and cruelty. I understand your pain perfectly. You are bleeding on the inside, hiding your deep relational scars behind a brave smile. Today, I am bringing the soothing, healing balm of Gilead directly to the festering wounds in your heart. I am guiding you right now toward the incredibly difficult, deeply painful, yet ultimately freeing path of total forgiveness. Release and forget those who have wronged you. In time they will recognize their fault, and I will handle them. When you hold on to bitter resentment, you do not punish the person who hurt you. You simply drink poison and expect the other person to die. Forgiveness is not saying that what they did to you was okay. Forgiveness is saying that I am taking the heavy chains off your own neck. Bear no bitterness towards them. I will transform even negative circumstances to your benefit. Let them go. Place them completely into my hands. I am the only righteous judge. When you release your right to get revenge, you make massive room for my peace to flood your broken heart. I promise you today that I am going to miraculously restore the years and the pure joy that the swarming locusts have eaten away. The enemy thought he could destroy your capacity to love by breaking your heart, but I am repairing it to be stronger and larger than it ever was before. I am erasing your suffering and crafting a splendid future for you and those you cherish. Do not close yourself off from the world. Do not build a massive brick wall around your emotions just to stay safe. I am actively preparing to bring new, divinely aligned, and deeply healthy connections into your path. I will send people who will celebrate you, not simply tolerate you. I will send friends who will fight for you, not against you. As you step into this new season, I instruct you to continuously guard your heart, but do so balancing divine wisdom with boundless, open-handed grace. Do not let the painful betrayals of your past dictate the beautiful relationships of your future. I will grant you the wisdom to discern and feel whom to trust. Allow my profound love to completely fill the lingering emptiness inside your chest today. When you find your ultimate, unshakable satisfaction in my love, you will stop demanding that fragile human beings be your savior. I am healing your deep wounds right now. Breathe deeply. Let the heavy burden of bitterness fall to the ground. You are deeply loved, and your heart is entirely safe in my hands. I am speaking directly to the comfortable, predictable box you have built around your life. I challenge you today to boldly leave the deceptive safety of your comfort zone and to completely reject your spiritual complacency. You have been sitting in the boat for far too long, gripping the sides, terrified of the wind and the crashing waves. The boat feels incredibly safe, but the boat is not where the miracles happen. I am walking on the water right outside your boat, and I am calling your name. I describe to you the breathtaking beauty and the wild thrill of walking on the water through pure, unadulterated faith. I urge you to take the leap, cast aside your fears that have confined you, and free yourself from the circumstances you can no longer endure. I know exactly how your logical, human mind works. You constantly demand to see the entire, brightly lit staircase before you are willing to take even a single step. You want a guarantee. You want a detailed map of the future. You want to know exactly how the money will come, exactly what people will say, and exactly how the story will end before you move your feet. But I do not deal in comfortable guarantees. I deal in radical faith. I am asking you to commit to just one single, radical step of bold obedience today. Do not look at step 10. Just look at step 1. Put one foot completely over the edge of the boat. Everything is about to change. Fear not. Stay close to me and pray before each significant choice. You are terrified that if you step out and take a risk, you will immediately sink to the bottom of the ocean. You are asking, what if I fail? I am asking you, what if you fly? I assure you today that my strong, mighty hand will instantly catch you if the fierce winds blow and you begin to falter. Grasp my hand tightly. I will fortify you, imbuing you with the wisdom to overcome any challenge. Even if you stumble, you will not fall entirely, for I will uphold your hand. I am not setting you up to look foolish. I am setting you up to experience the supernatural power of my grace. You were not created to live a small, completely safe, heavily guarded life. You were created to conquer giants. I celebrate the immense, beautiful courage it takes to trust in the unseen promises I have spoken over your life. Do not be discouraged, for you are stronger than you imagine. Look straight at me. Do not look at the storm. Do not listen to the people in the boat telling you to sit back down and be quiet. Keep your eyes completely locked on my face. The desire to live that now fills you flows directly from my heavenly throne. Let that deep desire push you out of your stagnant routine. Step out of the boat today. Take the risk. Send the application. Make the phone call. Start the project. I am right here with you, and the water will hold firm beneath your feet as long as you keep your eyes completely fixed on me. Do not silence my voice in this critical hour. You are standing on the absolute edge of your greatest spiritual breakthrough, and it deeply wounds my heart when you retreat into the shadows of fear just before the dawn breaks. If you walk away from me now, you are rejecting the exact, divine strategy I have specifically designed for your survival. Honor my presence. Stay with me. Do not let the enemy steal this moment, because I am about to hand you the exact weapons you need to conquer your current storm. I confront the suffocating, heavy spirit of intimidation that has been aggressively trying to keep your mouth completely shut. You have powerful truths buried deep inside of you, but every time you go to speak, fear grips your throat. You tell yourself that your voice does not matter. You tell yourself that you are not eloquent enough, not educated enough, or not holy enough to share your story. You think, who would ever listen to me? I am silencing that crippling lie today. I affirm to you right now that the unique, messy, beautiful testimony of your survival holds the explosive power to set other captives totally free. I want all your family and friends to be astonished by the transformation in your character. They will look upon you and testify to my reality. I remind you today that I take great delight in using the foolish, broken, and completely ordinary things of this world to completely confound the wise. I do not need you to have a massive platform, a perfect vocabulary, or a flawless past for me to use your voice. I need your raw honesty. I command you to begin speaking my truth into the atmosphere around you with both unapologetic boldness and deep, radical love. You possess the power I always speak of, the power to master your emotions, to govern the words you speak, casting aside murmurs of discontent and declarations of defeat. Stop agreeing with the darkness. Open your mouth and begin to declare light over your family, over your city, and over your own future. I want you to see exactly how your spoken words operate in the spiritual realm. Your words are not just empty air. They will act as living, powerful seeds planted directly into the dry, thirsty ground of other people's broken lives. When you tell someone how I rescued you from depression, you are planting a seed of desperate hope in their dark night. Let others seek you out and see my reflection in you. From your lips will flow beautiful praises. In you a bright light shines forth, scattering all shadows. Your voice is a weapon of mass destruction against the kingdom of darkness. Do not let the enemy steal your weapon by keeping you silent and ashamed. I promise to supernaturally fill your mouth with exactly what to say the very moment you open it in faith. You do not need a rehearsed script. You do not need to figure out all the perfect answers to their difficult questions. Just open your mouth and trust me to fill it. Sweet words I inscribe upon your mind, uprooting the roots of your despair. I am breathing a fresh, holy fire into your lungs right now. Clear your throat. Lift up your chin. Step up to the microphone of your daily life. Your story is far from over, and the words you speak today will absolutely change the trajectory of someone else's tomorrow. Speak boldly, my child. The entire world is desperately waiting to hear exactly what I have placed inside of you. I want to explain the sharp, painful, but absolutely vital process you are experiencing right now. You look at your life and you see laws. You see relationships ending, opportunity drying up, and doors suddenly slamming shut in your face. You feel the sharp sting of the shears, and you ask me why I am cutting you deeply when you are already trying so hard to grow. I lovingly encourage you to understand the season of pruning today. I am the master gardener. I explain the sharp, painful, but absolutely vital process of cutting back the branches of your life. When a gardener prunes a vine, they are not punishing the plant. They are actively saving it. They are cutting away the dead wood so that the living parts can thrive. I am cutting away the things in your life that are secretly draining your energy and stealing your profound peace. I identify the dead weight, the toxic habits, and the limiting mindsets that must be completely removed for your survival right now. I see the relationships you are clinging to out of pure loneliness, people who constantly drain your spirit and pull you away from my presence. I see the habits you use to numb your deep pain at the end of a long day. I see the old, comfortable plans that are no longer big enough to hold the new blessing I am bringing you. I lovingly encourage you to surrender the things, the people, and the outdated plans you have been white-knuckling. You are gripping these dead things so tightly that your hands are bleeding. Open your hands today. Let the dead leaves fall to the ground. I reassure you that the shears of pruning are always used for the specific purpose of bearing a greater, more abundant harvest of fruit. I aim to heal and fortify you so that when conflicts arise you will stand unwavering. I know the process hurts. I know it is deeply terrifying to let go of what is familiar, even when the familiar is completely toxic. But I describe to you today the massive surge of spiritual vitality that comes from remaining deeply connected to me, the true vine. When you stop pouring your limited energy into dead branches, that life force rushes back into your core. You will feel a new energy, a new mental clarity, and a profound, stabilizing peace that you have not felt in years. Do not fight the shears. Surrender to my careful, precise cuts. The pain of pruning is only temporary, but the heavy, sweet fruit it produces will last for a lifetime. I celebrate the vibrant, new growth that is germinating just beneath the surface of your current pain right now. You cannot see it yet because it is happening in the dark, beneath the soil of your tears. But I see the green shoots of new life, getting ready to break through. I am preparing you to hold a level of blessing, influence, and joy that you could never carry in your previous season. Trust the hands of the gardener today. I am not destroying your beautiful garden. I am expertly preparing it for a massive, unprecedented spring. Let go of the dead weight, lean entirely into my love, and get ready for the greatest harvest of your entire life. I am speaking directly to the deep exhaustion in your bones today. I dispel the exhausting, religious striving mentality that tries to endlessly earn my affection and favor. You have been running on a religious treadmill, sweating, panting, and working yourself to the point of absolute burnout, trying to prove to me that you are a good person. You measure your spiritual worth by how much you read, how perfectly you behave, and how much you volunteer. Stop running. Step off the treadmill right now. I redefine grace for you today, not merely as a passive covering for your sin, but as an active, empowering force for your daily living. Grace is not a weak excuse to stay broken. It is the explosive, divine power that actually makes you whole. I remind you right now that you are perfectly, infinitely loved exactly as you are right in this very second. You do not need to clean yourself up before you come into my presence. You do not need to fix your own broken pieces before you ask for my help. I want you exactly as you are, messy, tired, confused, and deeply flawed. I encourage you to stop leaning on your own fading strength and to lean entirely upon mine. You keep trying to fight spiritual battles using only human energy, and that is exactly why you are so constantly defeated. Your human willpower is like a battery that runs completely out by the end of the day. My grace is a massive, raging river of power that absolutely never runs dry. I detail how my majestic, universe-creating power is actually made most perfect when you finally admit your absolute human weakness. The world tells you to hide your flaws and project total confidence. I am telling you to bring your absolute weakness directly to my feet. When you finally say, "I cannot do this anymore," that is the exact moment my supernatural strength steps in and takes over the heavy lifting. Your weakness is not a barrier to my love. It is the very doorway through which my deepest power enters your life. Stop pretending you have everything completely under control. Drop the heavy mask of perfectionism today. It is entirely safe to be weak in my arms. I invite you to stop working frantically for your salvation and finally rest in the completely finished work of the cross. You cannot add a single drop to the ocean of grace I have already poured out for you. The debt was paid in full. The contract was signed in blood. The grave is completely empty. Accept the grace I bestow upon you, and let my power transform your heart and mind. Release the heavy burdens of regret and guilt right now. Sit down in the quiet chair of my unearned favor. Let out a long, deep breath. You are approved. You are completely accepted. You are profoundly righteous in my eyes. Stop working for a love you already entirely possess and start living out of the massive overflow of my glorious, unmerited grace. I acknowledge the terrifying, chaotic winds and the massive, crashing waves of the exact circumstances currently surrounding you. I see the scary medical report on your kitchen counter. I see the severe financial crisis looming over your family. I see the sudden, completely unexpected betrayal that knocked the wind straight out of your lungs. The boat of your life is rocking violently, water is pouring over the sides, and you are terrified that you are about to completely drown. You look at the dark, raging sky, and you wonder if I am sleeping while you are sinking. I am not asleep, my child. I am standing right beside you in the very center of the boat. I point to myself today as the heavy, completely immovable anchor that will keep your fragile soul from drifting away in the dark. I remind you of the historic, undeniable truth that I once calmed a violently raging sea with a single, softly spoken word. I did not panic when the wind howled. I did not grab a bucket and start frantically bailing out the water. I simply stood up, looked at the chaos, and spoke peace. The wind recognized the voice of its creator and immediately laid down. The crashing waves heard my command and instantly became as smooth as glass. I am the exact same God today. The storm you are facing right now is absolutely not bigger than the authority I carry. I instruct you right now to aggressively tear your eyes away from the terrifying, loud storm and fix your gaze squarely upon my face. Stop looking at the giant waves. Stop listening to the howling wind of bad news. Look directly into my eyes. I promise you, with the full authority of the courts of heaven, that this turbulent, frightening season will absolutely not be permitted to sink your ship. The enemy sent this fierce storm to completely destroy your faith, but I am using it to aggressively establish your absolute trust in me. I will not let you go under. When the water gets too deep, I will simply lift you up. Even in the fiercest tempests, when the winds howl and the seas rage against you, remember beneath my wings you are sheltered. My hand is steadfastly upholding you. Do not jump out of the boat in pure panic. Stay securely anchored to my absolute truth. I decree the words peace, be still over your racing mind right now. I speak peace, be still over the chaotic, tense environment inside your home. I command peace, be still over your troubled workplace, your complicated family dynamics, and your deep, internal anxiety. Let the raging waters inside your chest immediately calm down. I am in complete, sovereign control of the wind, the waves, and the exact outcome of your current crisis. Take a very deep breath. Stand firm on the solid rock of my eternal promises. The storm is already running out of power, but my love for you will endure forever. You are perfectly safe. You will completely survive this. I want to lift your eyes far beyond your own lifetime today. I reveal to you the profound, eternal impact that your quiet, daily faithfulness has on your entire bloodline. You think you are just fighting a personal battle to keep your own head above water. You think your daily choice to forgive, to pray, and to trust me only affects your own small world. I am telling you today that your courageous obedience is actively, aggressively breaking destructive generational curses off your entire family tree. I see the dark cycles of addiction, the heavy chains of poverty, and the toxic patterns of anger that have plagued your family for decades. They stop with you. You are the wall where the enemy's generational attack entirely completely shatters. I describe the beautiful, enduring legacy of pure faith and raw resilience you are currently building for your children and for your children's children. Every time you choose my peace instead of returning an angry shout, you are planting a healthy seed for the next generation. Every time you get up off the floor after a massive failure and try again, you are teaching your children how to conquer giants. You are watering a massive, beautiful forest that you may never fully see with your own eyes, but your descendants will sit in the deep, cool shade of the trees you are planting right now. I encourage you to stand incredibly firm today, not just for your own personal survival, but for the sake of the fragile souls coming directly after you. I promise a sweeping, massive blessing that stretches to 1,000 generations for those who deeply love me and fiercely keep my commands. This is not a temporary reward. This is an eternal, bloodline-altering decree. The difficult tears you are quietly shedding today are actively buying the absolute freedom of your great-grandchildren. When you feel completely exhausted and want to surrender, remember the beautiful faces of the generation looking up to you. Draw deep strength from the absolute truth that your victory will become their starting line. Do not give up the fight. You are making it significantly easier for them to simply find my face. I celebrate your vital, divinely appointed role as a fierce cycle breaker and a bold history maker in your family tree. It is incredibly difficult to be the first one to walk away from toxic dysfunction. It is painful to be the only one in your family choosing radical forgiveness and deep healing. But I am pouring out a special, heavy measure of grace upon your shoulders for this exact, specific task. You are profoundly changing the historical trajectory of your entire family name. Walk with deep confidence today. Your quiet, daily decisions are echoing violently into eternity, breaking ancient chains and unleashing a beautiful, generational river of my unmerited favor. You are actively breaking heavy generational chains today, and I absolutely did not bring you to this exact video by accident. I brought you here to help others completely shatter theirs. I am calling you right now to extend your beautiful, enduring legacy far beyond your own family by actively funding the rapid spread of my saving gospel. Your urgent generosity is a powerful, living seed planted directly into fertile soil, ready to grow into a massive tree of life for souls starving in the wilderness. The harvest of broken hearts is incredibly ripe today, but the workers are few, and I urgently need your immediate partnership to gather the lost before the dark night falls. You are accumulating eternal treasures through your steadfast faith, and as you pour out your resources, I will permanently command a massive, generational blessing over your own finances. I will personally rebuke the devourer for your sake and ensure your family's table never lacks for daily bread. Rise up as a bold builder of my eternal kingdom and absolutely support this ministry today through a super thanks, by joining as a loyal member, or through the PayPal link placed in the description. I command you to plant your powerful financial seed right now, so we can furiously reach the darkest corners of this earth, together. We are drawing incredibly close to the final, permanent seal of your blessing, and you absolutely must not leave yet. It disappoints me profoundly when you settle for a partial healing instead of waiting for the massive, complete overflow I have prepared. Do not grieve my Holy Spirit by rushing back into the chaotic, toxic noise of the world when I am right in the middle of blessing you. Tarry with me just a little longer. The final vow I am about to make to you is the absolute anchor your fragile soul requires to survive. I address the frantic, exhausting busyness and the empty religious duty that so often masquerades as true spiritual devotion in your life. You run from task to task, checking boxes on your to-do list, serving on committees, volunteering your time, and rushing through your quick morning prayers. You think that by doing more things for me, you are somehow getting closer to me. But I see your completely exhausted, entirely depleted spirit. I call your wandering, tired heart back to the secret, quiet place of uninterrupted communion with my spirit today. I do not want your impressive resume. I do not want your frantic, burnt-out service. I want your heart. I want your quiet, undivided attention. I express my deep, tender, fatherly desire simply to spend time with you today, without you asking me for a single thing. You often come to me with a long list of desperate requests, treating me like a spiritual vending machine. And while I love to provide for my children, my deepest desire is just to be with you. I want you to sit in the stillness and just breathe in my presence. I instruct you to completely prioritize the peaceful, surrendered posture of Mary sitting quietly at my feet over Martha's frantic, clanging anxiety in the kitchen. The kitchen tasks will always be there. The emails will always be waiting. But the quiet, beautiful moments of simply resting in my shadow are fleeting if you do not fiercely protect them. I describe the profound, universe-shaking secrets, the divine strategies, and the deep mysteries I only reveal when you become totally, completely still. In the noise of your busy life, you can only hear the shallow surface of my voice. But in the absolute quiet, I will whisper the deep things of my heart directly into yours. I will give you the exact, creative solution for the massive problem at your job. I will show you the exact, gentle words to heal the broken relationship in your home. These divine strategies are completely missed when you are running 100 miles an hour. Slow your frantic pace down today. Stop working to impress the world and start resting to connect with your Father. I assure you right now that simply sitting quietly and resting in my presence is the absolute most spiritually productive thing you can do today. It looks like you are doing nothing, but in the spiritual realm, you are being massively recharged, deeply healed, and radically aligned with my perfect will. Put the phone in the other room. Turn off the loud screen. Sit down in a quiet chair. Close your tired eyes. Stop talking, stop playing, and stop worrying. Just sit with me. Let my deep, unfailing love wash over you in the absolute silence. Come away with me today, my beautiful child, and simply rest in the warm, perfect safety of my arms. I declare with absolute finality that the grueling battle you are currently fighting has already been won. You wake up every single morning feeling like you are losing precious ground. You look at the unpaid bills on your kitchen table. You see the complicated medical reports. You feel the tension in your broken relationships, and you honestly think the enemy is winning the war. I am telling you today to stop looking at the temporary scoreboard of this broken world. I remind you that as a true believer, you do not fight your daily battles for a victory. You fight your battles directly from a position of absolute, unshakable victory. The war was completely settled on the wooden cross. The dark grave was permanently conquered. You are not fighting to see who will eventually win. You are simply standing firm in the massive victory I have already secured for you. I shift your weary, exhausted perspective right now from your temporary, earthly struggles to your eternal, heavenly triumphs. You are currently standing in the thick mud of the trenches, and all you can see around you is the dirt, the smoke, and the confusion of the fight. I am gently lifting your head today to look up at my eternal throne room. I see the painful tears you are crying in the trenches, but I also clearly see the massive, glorious reward waiting for you at the finish line. I detail the shining, brilliant crown of righteousness that is securely waiting for you at the exact end of this difficult race. You are absolutely not running in vain. Every single time you chose to trust me when your heart was breaking, a beautiful jewel was added to your crown. Every time you forgave someone who hurt you deeply, you stored up massive, eternal treasures in heaven. I encourage you to do something completely radical today. I invite you to lift your empty hands and begin praising me right now, long before you ever see the actual breakthrough in front of you. Do not wait for the terrifying storm to stop before you decide to sing. Sing loudly in the very middle of the pouring rain. Your praise is your absolute greatest weapon against the darkness. When you praise me in the middle of your deep pain, you completely confuse and defeat the enemy. He fully expects you to cry, to complain, and to completely give up. When you lift your tired hands and say, "I trust you, Lord," you instantly break the heavy iron chains of fear off your mind. I command you to open your mouth and declare your total victory today. You are a true champion. I permanently stamp my royal, unbreakable seal of triumph over your entire current situation. I officially mark your home, your physical health, your fragile mind, and your beloved family for my absolute glory. The enemy cannot cross the thick bloodline I have carefully drawn all around your life. You are perfectly safe within my grip. You are eternally secure in my love. Keep walking forward with your head held incredibly high. The finish line is so much closer than you think, and I am standing right there with my arms wide open, ready to say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." Rest deeply today in the absolute assurance that you cannot possibly lose, because I have already permanently won. I officially charge you with a sacred, beautiful, and profoundly important task today. I am sending you out to take my brilliant, healing light directly into your specific sphere of daily influence. You do not need to pack your bags and move to a foreign country to be my designated hands and feet. You simply need to walk back into your normal workplace tomorrow morning with a completely new mindset. You need to sit down at your own messy kitchen table and love the people sitting across from you. You need to speak kindly to the tired cashier at the local grocery store. I remind you of your high, holy calling today. You are the preserving salt of this decaying earth, and you are a glowing, bright city set high upon a dark hill. The world around you is incredibly dark, bitterly cold, and deeply lonely. People are absolutely desperate for a genuine smile, a warm word of incredible hope, and a quiet, listening ear. I am specifically choosing you to be that exact light for them. I impart a fresh, rushing wind and a massive, overflowing filling of my Holy Spirit into your tired soul right now. This is specifically to sustain you for the long, important journey ahead. You have been running entirely on empty fumes for months, but I am entirely refilling your spiritual tank today. I am giving you the supernatural, divine energy you need to truly love the completely unlovable people in your life. I instruct you to step out into this broken, hurting world and love people fiercely, extravagantly, and without any strict conditions. Love the difficult coworker who constantly frustrates your patience. Love the difficult family member who completely misunderstood your pure intentions. When you choose to love them despite their sharp edges, you are actually showing them my true face. They cannot physically see me, but they can definitely see me living inside of you. I describe to you exactly how your daily, completely ordinary life is actually a living, breathing sermon that other people are reading every single day. You might never stand behind a large wooden pulpit in a church, but your daily life preaches the absolute loudest message. People are constantly watching how you handle your sudden stress. They are quietly watching how you endure your deep pain without losing your profound, inner joy. When you remain completely calm in the middle of a massive crisis, you are preaching an incredibly powerful sermon about my perfect peace. Do not ever underestimate the massive, eternal impact of your quiet, consistent, daily faithfulness. Every single kind word you speak is a heavy hammer actively breaking the heavy chains of darkness around someone else. I formally send you forth out of your deep, dark despair today as my fully authorized, divinely designated ambassador of incredible hope. You are absolutely no longer a helpless victim of your painful circumstances. You are a powerful carrier of my heavenly glory. Wipe your wet tears, lift your heavy head, and step completely out of the cold shadows. The hurting world desperately needs exactly what I have carefully placed inside of your heart. Go forward with absolute, unshakable confidence. I am walking directly ahead of you to clear the path. I am walking right beside you to hold your hand, and I am fiercely watching your back. You are my deeply chosen vessel, and I am going to do magnificent, earth-shaking things through your willing, open hands. I reiterate to you right now the unfathomable depth, the massive width, the endless length, and the towering height of my fiercely protective, everlasting love for you. You have spent so much of your tired life trying to measure my perfect love using broken human rulers. You honestly think my love completely stops when you make a terrible mistake. You think my love slowly shrinks when you have a bad day and lose your temper. I am telling you today that my love is a raging, infinite, bottomless ocean, and you cannot possibly ever find the end of it. My love goes deep enough to reach your darkest shame. My love goes wide enough to cover your absolute biggest mistakes. I promise you, with absolute, divine certainty, that absolutely nothing, not fierce angels, not dark demons, not the terrors of your present, nor the intense uncertainties of your future, can ever separate you from my strong, loving hand. I swear by my own holy, matchless name, because there is absolutely no name higher or more powerful in the entire universe, that I will absolutely never leave you and I will never, ever forsake you. Fragile people in your life have quickly walked away when things got complicated and messy. They packed their bags and left when you were difficult to love or completely exhausted. I am absolutely not like them. I am the faithful God who constantly stays. I am pulling up a permanent chair directly next to your breaking heart, and I am stubbornly refusing to move. I comfort your weary, battered spirit today with the unshakable, glorious hope of eternal life and our joyous, impending, beautiful future reunion. This difficult, painful, broken earth is absolutely not your final home. You are just briefly passing through this dark valley. One glorious day, all the sharp pain, the terrifying sickness, the mounting bills, and the bitter tears will be completely wiped away forever. We will be fully together, face to face, and the joy of that moment will be absolutely blinding. I declare that your beautiful, precious name is forever engraved deeply upon the rough palms of my scarred hands. Whenever I look down at my own hands, I clearly see you. I did not just write your name in temporary ink so I could easily wash it away when you inevitably mess up. I permanently carved your name into my own flesh with the heavy iron nails of the cross. You are permanently, eternally, and completely mine. No human or spiritual force can ever snatch you out of my tight grip. I forever seal this unbreakable, holy covenant of perfect peace over your entire existence, both right now and for all of eternity. You absolutely do not have to work to earn this eternal covenant. You can't buy it, and you cannot achieve it through good behavior. You simply have to open your hands and receive it. Take a deep, slow breath right now and let the absolute, concrete security of my vow settle deeply into your tired bones. You are completely safe. You are profoundly loved. You are forever protected, guided, and cherished by the Creator of the burning stars. Rest tonight in the absolute guarantee that my love for you will literally never, ever fail. I command a final, massive, supernatural release of every single lingering shadow of dark doubt, cold fear, and crippling worry from your mind right now. We have spoken together about so many incredibly deep, life-changing things today, and I absolutely do not want you to walk away from this intimate encounter carrying the exact same heavy baggage you arrived with. Drop it right here at my feet. Leave the heavy fear of the unknown tomorrow completely behind you. Leave the painful, embarrassing mistakes of yesterday lying on the ground. I breathe a holy, parting blessing of profound, transcendent, unexplainable peace directly into the very center of your tired soul today. Let this divine peace wash completely over your mind like a warm, cleansing, gentle rain. Let it entirely soothe your nervous, exhausted system. Let it instantly quiet your racing, panic thoughts. I re-emphasize the absolute, foundational, rock-solid truth of this entire divine encounter. You are emphatically, absolutely not here by accident today. You did not click on this specific message by random chance. You were not just scrolling aimlessly. I specifically and carefully arranged for you to hear my exact voice today because I saw exactly how desperately you needed a strong lifeline. I saw you silently drowning in your own heavy anxiety, and I reached directly down from heaven to pull you out of the deep water. I lovingly, firmly remind you to quickly return to these very words and to my steady, calming presence whenever the dark storm clouds begin to gather around your mind again. When the enemy tries to aggressively whisper his familiar, toxic lies to you tomorrow morning, I want you to come straight back to this exact truth. Read these promises again. Let my steady voice be the absolute loudest sound in your entire daily life. I declare with absolute, supreme, universe-shaking authority that a brand new, highly favored, and entirely purpose-filled chapter of your life begins precisely right now, in this very second. You are completely turning the page today. The exhausting chapter of heavy striving, of bitter, silent loneliness, and of crushing, daily defeat is officially, permanently closed forever. You are actively stepping into a beautiful season of radical grace, unexpected, massive provision, and deep, unshakable, overflowing joy. I close this divine, intimate appointment with a powerful, resounding, undeniable affirmation of my sovereign, fatherly love for your life. I love you. I love you so much more than human words could ever possibly express to you. Go forward today, walk out of your front door, and hold your head incredibly high. You are my beloved, chosen, precious child. You are entirely, completely forgiven for everything you have ever done. You are no longer a slave to your past fear. You are walking directly into the absolute greatest, most beautiful victory of your entire life. Go in my perfect peace, my child, and never forget that I am walking right beside you every single step of the way. As we finally seal this holy conversation, hear my voice with crystal clarity. You are a fiercely chosen vessel, perfectly placed on this earth for a massive, undeniable purpose. I have deeply poured the fresh, healing oil of my spirit over your head today, and now I am asking you to let it flow violently outward to heal a bleeding, terrified world. I am specifically inviting you to join my heavenly rescue team right now, paying it forward so this exact, life-saving message actively reaches the people who are silently weeping tonight. The time on earth is incredibly short. The spiritual urgency is absolutely real, and the desperate cries of the broken are reaching my high throne in this very second. Give your best gift with a joyful, willing spirit, and I will furiously multiply your daily resources, surrounding your home with a fiery wall of unshakable protection and sudden, breathtaking miracles. I am a source of blessing and joy, and I will richly reward the generous, open hands that boldly support my heavy work. Step directly into your powerful calling today by sending a super thanks, becoming a dedicated channel member, or quickly clicking the simple PayPal link in the description below. I command you to move in bold, radical obedience today. Release your generous gift and watch me absolutely transform the world through your willing hands. Amen.